at that, Pete. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, Josh. Oh, almost a shove it. Looks like Josh broke the foamy again. There it is. There it is. Here you go, Pete. Oh, there it is. Try the double up. Yeah, take that thing in. Yeah, well, don't hit your fins. Whoa. Joshy boy swimming around. Super hard all the way through. There you go. Up and left. There's a nice left. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, nice little left. To the inside.
Keep the paddles through really hard right now. Left.
Nice left, dude.
Raising hands emoji. Yippee! What's going on, everybody? Oh, that's the end. Hold on. I got to press a whole bunch of other buttons here. I didn't know that was going to be the end.
Welcome to the Blind Surfer Show.
I said, so how's it hanging, Pete?
It is hanging pretty good. Ooh, that was loud, huh? It's hanging pretty good.
Molotwapas asks, how was your weekend, Pete?
My weekend was pretty darn good. I think you got, hold on, I'm checking on my levels here, making sure everything's working. We don't want to have Robot Pete like we did last week. And my microphone is, I feel like it's been forever since I've done
Jenny
this.
said, hi, you, Pete.
Hi, you, Jenny. What's going on, ABC Jenny? What's going on, Lola? Everybody that's here early. Love all you guys and girls. And yeah, like I was doing this every day for a bunch of days. And I was...
Timothythexii asks, did you figure out how rating works?
How writing works? Yeah, I know how to write. You put the pen on the paper and you form these little letter things and then, you know, people can read them if they got eyeballs. But I don't, so I'm not so great at it. Although I'm not entirely sure that's what you asked. But yeah, I had a nice, like, kind of relaxing weekend.
Gama's Noble said, I haven't been in here in a good minute.
Well, I recognize your username, so you've been here enough.
Molotwapas said, LOL. They said Raid TTS didn't say it correctly.
Raid TTS. I mean, yeah, I know.
James Gardner PZ3
What up, James?
said, am I late?
No, James, you are early. I've been here for like a minute and a half.
I said text to speech didn't work. I meant taking your stream to another streamer's stream.
I Lola told me what you meant.
Said it,
The
James
Blind
Gardner
Surfer Show is brought to you by Blind Penguin Frothing Hand Soap. Order a mystery box, pump the nozzle, and see if you can determine the scent just by smell. When you're ready to know for sure, peel to reveal. Order today at blindpenguin.com.
I don't think you saw it because I think the commercial was running, but I think I just hit my nose 4 times in a row on my microphone. Right before I took the long 3-day weekend, I kind of changed everything in here. I added the popper stopper to the microphone. I changed where all the music was, on all the buttons and everything, and now I'm getting messages on my phone. I know, I feel like... Oh, already getting a voicemail. So yeah, the phone number is up and running, 760-517-6844. That is for the people who want to call and leave a message for Check Pete's voicemail. We'll get to that shortly, even though there were not a ton of messages in there. We'll get it. Jeez, I keep hitting the microphone. We'll, I mean, it's like right next to me, right? We'll get it up and running. We'll get people excited about dialing the phone number, having their voice heard on the show. Yeah, I was awake. It was like 5:40 in the morning on Monday, and I was like, I could get up, or I could actually get some sleep for a change. And then I decided to stay here and get some sleep. Although, since it's been I did the show Friday morning, then I took all day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Now it's Tuesday night. I feel like it's been a long time. I miss you all, but I can hear you if you are curious. How does a blind guy react to the chat? I just pressed that little button over there, and if everything
Timothythexii says I'm gonna check out here, but I had to pop in. Have a good night, peoples.
Thank you for checking in. Thank you for popping in. Thank you for saying hi. Glad I got to hear your voice. I'm sure that's not exactly what you really sound like, but
Kimbo14 says hey.
Kimbo, what's going on, Kimbo? Welcome to the evening. For the first time ever, how excited am I today? A surfing video that I posted has more than 16 views. I was very excited about that. Thank you to everybody for checking it out. It was, what's the title of it? It's the main one on my page right now. I think it was called
says, Pete, I feel like your whole body is watching us.
Why is
Edwin
that?
Fisherman 27 says, I glad you finally got a perfect wave.
Thank
Matt
you,
Honker says
Fisherman.
HEYO.
Hey, yo, Matt Honker,
At
what's
James
going
Gardner
on, dude?
PZ3RL says at least she's not going to read it. At Jenny says my H-Town lady Kim.
I wonder if my whole body is watching you guys. Am I zoomed in? I got a little help here like 2 seconds before the show started. I tried to get a little help of fitting me and Petey and Sam the chicken into the zoomed in horizontal version. If you're on vertical, I think you're just seeing me and Petey the penguin, but we're the important ones. Sam's the weirdo. Oh, look at that. Starting right with a super chat.
At law_may_y_query_CISA tip $10 through Super Chat.
Kicking it off.
Hi,
big.
Blind Stud Muffin, Blind Stud Penguin, and Stud Chicken. We bow to our leaders. All hail the Blind Surfer, Blind Stud Penguin, and I think the chicken is blind too low cowbunga doodle low line retro.
I think the chicken actually can see. I think Sam the chicken is the only one of us that can see what he's doing. So how did the chicken cross the road? It doesn't really matter how. Me and Petey the penguin will end up following him. So thank you for kicking that off with the super chat. As you can tell, if you want to get your message read right away, $3 or more super chat on YouTube. We'll get that robot voice right in my ear. Same thing happens on Twitch when you do 200 bits or more. And otherwise, if I just happen to press this little button right here, you'll see my cell phone comes up on the screen. Yep, that's one of my iPhones, and it's running a little program called Caster Labs, where it can...
Kimbo14 says time goes by so fast, Jenny, it's crazy.
Where it can get all of your messages, and it'll read them from...
Kimbo14 says nice.
It'll read them from Twitch. It'll read them from TikTok. It'll read them from
At
Facebook.
James Gardner PZ3RL says LOL.
It actually won't read Facebook. I don't know why. If you want to get your message heard and you're on Facebook, you might have to come over to a different platform because that doesn't integrate. So I can hear your messages if you're on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. But yeah, I was saying that the video that I posted today, I was stunned after this happened. I've been posting Surfing Blind, my new little series of videos, and they get like 300, 400 views, which is kind of sad because I'm the blind surfer and I wanted to show people that I can surf blind, but nobody cares. But I finally got one today that's doing pretty well. I wonder what it's at. Let me I'll show you how I. Oh, there's a new episode of Ted Lasso on Apple TV tonight. That's what I've just been notified. Are you guys watching that? I actually find that pretty enjoyable, even though I'm just listening. So if I go to, let's see, I was left stunned after this happened. 1.1 thousand views. That's pretty good for a long form. It's 5.5 minutes. So got to congratulate you guys on the your attention span for that one. But there was one comment. I feel like the person was trying to be nice, but there was one comment that bummed me out. So the video is about me catching a wave, and it wasn't necessarily that it was that I got into a wave and everything got quiet. Like, it's always this loud jumble of nonsense out there, and I'm always reacting. Instead of acting on a wave, I'm always reacting. Like something hits me, and I just have to react to it last second and kind of either go up the wave or down the wave, or the wave breaks on me and I have to adjust and go. What the special thing about the wave that I posted today was that it was the craziest thing. Like, I've ridden thousands of waves, and the guy that's like, hey, first time you get a wave that's not whitewashed, that's really exciting. I'm like, no. I was like, I've ridden thousands of waves that aren't whitewashed. It's that this one allowed my sense of hearing to actually help me out. As a blind surfer, I'm almost like blind and deaf out there because it's just so noisy once you get up on the wave. I'm just a reactionary surfer, just kind of twitching and moving. It's the reason I like small boards that, once something hits me from the side or from behind, or if there's some backwash, I can do something at the last second to adjust for it. But that wave that I got on, as I was getting into it, the moment I got into it, it's like somebody just turned down the volume. It's just like, there's no noise from the ocean, and I was like, oh my god. Like, and I always crap on echolocation, because echolocation isn't going to help me, like, walk down a crowded street and know where people are, and fire hydrants and bikes locked up to bike racks and stuff. It's just not going to help me with that. but there was something about the sound on that wave where it was just starting to crackle at the top of it. And I was like, oh my God, I know exactly where the top of this wave is. And I started riding up to the top of it. And sure enough, I'd had enough feeling over my life, like kind of knowing where it is. But I started to approach it. I'm like, I know exactly where the top of this wave is. And I hit the top of the wave and it broke. I knew it was going to, and I doubled back and came back down. I mean, it was a hell of a turn. And it was exciting because for a change, I actually knew what I was doing. Now, if we could just talk to Poseidon and the wind gods and everybody else and see if we could, get them to turn the volume down on the ocean so I could experience that all the time, like that would be pretty special. But yeah, thanks to everybody that decided to check out that video today. 1,100 views so far. It's funny, I mean, I have shorts that go millions and millions, but honestly, I'd rather have 1,100 people. Honestly, it's kind of sad. I mean, it's true though. I'd rather have 1,100 people watch me surf a good wave and overcome that challenge than have 1 million people watch me open a box and try and figure out what's inside of it. Now, I know everybody enjoys the blind guy unboxing. It's enjoyable for everybody to watch and check out, but I mean, there's not a lot of skill in there. Like, I feel like it's entertaining. Oop, I don't know what that is. I think I just got an email.
BRL says, somebody help me.
What? Why do you need help?
Lenovo fan 2003 says I made IT to the charger.
Hey, what up? I don't think you meant the charger. You probably meant the chat.
Adlalatwapa says refresh.
Maybe you did mean the charger.
670 Themen says hi.
Oh, no. See, when I pop in, I hear stuff like
Devlin
that.
Fisherman 27 says I ordered some soap last Friday and it says it should be here by this Saturday. So excited.
This Saturday? How far
670
away are
Themen
you?
says what you doing?
I'm just sitting
Kimbo
here talking
14
to
says
you
yay
guys.
Lenovo.
Yeah.
Fedable4 says yo.
Yo, what's going on? Wow, I popped into the chat.
Angel 3 Fry says nice mini Pete's shirt.
Yeah, somebody sent me this a while ago, and I wore it with Nisha to the beach.
Lori says when is wedding?
What up, really
Devlin Fisherman 27 says oh noise.
No, I keep forgetting the damn.
Atwater2J says hello.
Wedding already happened. Everybody missed it. Literally everybody. Nobody was there
Revolver
for it.
1812 says said hi.
What up, Revolver 8812, whatever you said. Hi back at you. I'd love to hear a Lenovo
Ryan
fan.
135,755 says I like the.
You like the.
Zach 07090 says hello.
I like the move
At
it,
the Glyn
move it.
husband says what made Brooks stop scuba diving. Do you know the story?
Brooks
At Harry
used to
Nilsson
scuba
catalog
dive?
says hi.
I didn't even know Brooks used to scuba
At James
dive.
Gardner PZ3RL says heat and chat how are y'all?
Hey, chat, what's
Ryan
going on?
135,755 says beard.
Beard.
Lori
yeah.
says congratulations.
I love really Lori. Yeah, we got married. Banana and I got married. It was actually New Year's Eve. It was a dark and stormy night. It was actually one of the only days that it's rained out here, like in the last 2 years. And we went and did a very private ceremony. We just had our neighbor Fred come, and he captured some pretty hilarious video, which I may or may not. I'm not sure if Banana will be mad. There's some pretty funny video from our little tiny two-person ceremony. But yeah, we're having the party for it in a short while. Banana's actually downstairs right now. She is the handiest person ever. Ooh, that's exciting.
Jenny just redeemed voiceover voice, activate. So it's time for Pete to break out his big voice. Continue the story.
Continue the story? What story? Oh, I can't. Well, I can't tell you the story.
Also, feel free to call 760-517-6844 to leave a message for Pete to be played on his next show.
That's one of my little special
At Brody
messages
Huggins
that you
J8K says said hi. At Pete Gustin says welcome to chat.
Lenovo_fan 2003 just redeemed blind guy taste test. Time for Pete to grab a goodie from the bucket.
Okay, so I got to do both of those. Look at you guys with all your channel points. This is what happened when you watch me for a while over on Twitch. You can redeem channel points, and I felt like I set the number pretty high, but people have been redeeming them left and right. So I've got two things I got to do for you guys. The first one is I got to do 2 minutes of.
At Brody Huggins J8K says, hey Pete, have you ever heard of My Life as a Teenage Robot? It was a Nicktoons show that aired in 2003, all the way to 2009.
I don't think I ever saw that.
At Jenny says had to do it before it was gone.
Yeah, well, yeah.
At Philamentally Awesome says hi.
All right, so I got to do the
At
voiceover voice
DR says said hi.
for a couple minutes.
At
and then I
Philamentally
got to
Awesome
do
says hi.
a blind guy taste
At
test.
James Gardner PZ3RL says will you follow the rules?
Yeah,
Fisherman 27 says I'm in Illinois.
But I'm trying to
At Philamentally Awesome says hi.
Oh no. They're all getting
Mad
redeemed.
underscore honker just redeemed 90 seconds of only the text-to-speech chat.
All right, so we gotta
it's
do.
time for Pete to shut up.
We gotta do these all in order. I gotta do them all in order. We gotta do 2 minutes of me doing a voiceover. Then I've got to do a blind guy taste test, and then I've got to shut up for 2 minutes. So you guys, you got about 4 or 5 minutes until you take over the stream. Be nice, don't be crazy. We'll get to that one in a couple of minutes. I'm trying to figure out what I can do with voiceover voice activate. I mean, I guess I can tell you part of this story. Hold on, let me see if I can fire off some. I think I have some fun. Should I do fun music or should I do? What's this song? What is this song? Oh, that's very serious. I was gonna do the wedding story, but I got some very, very serious music here. It was New Year's Eve, 2025, and Banana and I had decided to get married. We didn't exactly know what the plan was. In fact, we had no plan. We didn't even know there was going to be a ceremony. We thought we were going to sign some paperwork. So she grabbed some clothing and then grabbed a pretty dress. And I put on something halfway acceptable. We drove to the location where they do weddings, or at least marriages. And it ended up being a clerk's office. And we were like, okay, I guess we're doing it in a clerk's office. And Banana decided not to put on her pretty fancy dress because she felt a little silly wearing a pretty fancy dress.
Poke player 401 just followed.
Thank you. In a clerk's office. So she just wore what she drove in the car wearing. And someone came from behind the door and met us in the room and told us to start reciting some vows. We were very surprised because we had no idea we were doing vows. Again, we just thought we were signing paperwork. So I started repeating after the person, and then Banana started repeating after the person. And there was one moment, one line, one thing that Banana was supposed to say, and she almost couldn't say it. It was kind of freaking hilarious. I'll probably turn it into a short video if she doesn't kill me for posting it. I'll keep you posted as to whether or not that happens. But after the ceremony, we went to a restaurant, we had a couple of drinks, and then we went back to the house, and we were like, hey, we're married. That was surprising. Now we need to figure out how to tell people. Because again, we have no plan. We've just been together for so long that we decided, why not? We love each other. We're in love. We love everything about each other. We should put rings on each other's fingers, even though I always forget to wear mine. But yes, we are married. Oh, my voice cracked at the end. We are married. Close enough. This is what happens at the end of the day when my voice gets tired. All right. That was 2 minutes, wasn't it? We are married. Here we go. Third try. That's why I don't do this stuff live when I'm doing actual voiceovers. All right, so the next one was, well, let me stop that. Let me see if anybody's happy with my performance there.
Mesnable says can't have anything fun SMH.
Well, what happened? I thought that was pretty fun.
Lalatwipa says welcome INM at Glunsfo1.
Now we're going to do the blind guy taste test, which is great.
Boy 2855 says, yo, what's the P.O. box again? I want to see SMTH.
CSMTH.
Jenny says loves it. That was a really good story. Who did you tell first?
We told our parents.
Sunrose 8 says ideal wedding.
Our parents. Yeah, exactly. It was easy.
Ryan B3RRY says hi Pete.
Although this party is
Athiglin husband says amazing story.
Set me back a little bit.
Ilif says hey, hi, this is Ilif.
Hi Ilif, what's going on? How you doing? All right, so I know I got 2 more things to do. So we're going to do the.
It's time now for a blind guy taste test.
Rawr. Hold on, I got to reach over and wait. Actually, I'll put you guys
Sans
on.
Rubik's Cube, would you learn to solve it?
And then reach over and grabbing my bucket. My blind guy taste test. Or sorry, my blind guy.
Tiny
unboxing.
Gamer 0 says holy I slop.
What a tiny.
At James
gamer.
Gardner PZ3RL says he's hungry.
Yeah, well, I think, yeah, well,
Lalatwipa says someone was asking why you no longer take calls live. I had to tell them someone ruined it.
yeah, like a few people
Flonspo1
kind of
says, hey,
ruined it.
it's Bogart the Great. One subscribing was the most difficult thing ever. Had to make 2 accounts.
I'm sorry that was difficult.
420 says, grab a guitar and start shredding.
That's not in my skill set. I can play like C, G, A, E, and that's about it. I'm not going to be doing any shredding. So, all right, we redeemed the blind guy taste test. So, yeah, I was saying my blind guy unboxing for this weekend. These things are all like just all over the bottom.
Lalatwipa says, oh no, Bogart.
I know,
Angel Free Fry says, yum, yum, yum.
That's a cheap one. That's just something that's on the bottom. All right, this is. It feels like I don't know. It feels like a gummy. I want something substantial.
Bogart the Great one says, LOL. Yeah.
I mean, these are probably Oreos, right? Which is, I don't know which part. There's Steve. God, he always someone comes down the street like every time I'm doing the show.
Cyrillic letter S.
Thank you for the Cyrillic letter yes. Every time I'm doing the show, someone decides to like walk their dog. Hi, what's going on?
Boyjaming 2855 says it got cut off before, but I asked if I bought you a blind man's Rubik's Cube, would you learn to solve it live?
Well, yeah, I've already done that.
Larpian says those are Ritz.
Oh, there
Glonspo 1 says good news. Double the views.
Oh, okay.
At Brody Huggins J8K says, hey Pete, have you ever heard of the Nick Jr. show Winter Pets? This show aired in March 2006 and concluded in 2018 also.
Old weird
Do you know what
shows?
Rick Rolling is?
I mean, I know what Rick Rolling is. Yeah, I definitely know what that is. And yes, I've done. What was that noise? Oh, it's Steve whining, and my super duper microphone is picking it up from like 3 rooms away. I did a blind guy unboxing with a regular Rubik's Cube and a blind guy tactile Rubik's Cube. So that has been done. Steve, what are you doing out there? All right, it feels like M&M's, but knowing this box. And I know. I think it was LT redeemed the, I have to shut up and let the chat take over. I'm going to get to that too. Where's the front?
Lenovo Fan 2003 says, has he taken a bite yet?
No, I have not. I don't know what side the front is. Usually there's like a seam on the back. All right, so
Lenovo Fan 2003 says, never mind.
It's either that side.
Bogart the Great one says, OMG double the point bubbles.
Or it's that side.
Boyjaming 2855 says, by Blind Man's Cube I meant a Megaminx. It's a 12-sided Rubik's Cube.
Oh, that sounds terrible. That sounds like I'll be doing it for a month and a half. That sounds really difficult. I mean, if it doesn't take me a week and a half, I do have other things to do.
The Republic of Tree says, never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down.
Never gonna give you up.
Lenovo Fan 2003 says, dang it, I like that.
Say goodbye.
Larpian says, Cyrillic letter S, Cyrillic letter A, Cyrillic letter yeah, Cyrillic letter V. Boyjaming 2855 says, it keeps cutting me off, but by Blind Man's Cube I meant a Megaminx. It's a 12-sided Rubik's Cube.
I heard you on the second one. It's okay. These are delicious. You know what? They taste like coffee. I don't know why. And I apologize.
Tiny Gamer Zero says, do you still listen to movies?
Yes, I do. And I use audio description to hear what's going on. These are effing delicious. What am I eating? I thought it was going to be like a regular M&M.
Boyjaming 2855 says, I can finish one in 6 minutes. Vote.
But it tastes like caramel.
Infinite Hack says, ever heard of a 21 by 21 cube? They are over $2,000.
No, I don't want to spend
Tiny Gamer Zero says W's. Bogart the Great one says, coffee or toffee?
It tastes
Lenovo
like coffee.
Fan 2003 says, coffee? I like the caramel more.
It has caramel and it tastes like coffee. So I don't know. Hold on. I'm going to ask my robot what it is.
6:17 p.m.
The robot should know. The almighty robot.
Gemini.
Opening up Google Gemini. Then I'm going to go.
Admendo Dog 707 says, have you tried the Harry Potter jelly beans?
Talk live. No, I have not. Hold on. Now I get.
Turn on video streaming.
I turned on the video streaming. Hey, comment. What is
says,
this?
I'm
What am I
pretty sure they
holding?
are coffee flavored M&Ms. Tiny Gamer Zero says, freeze dried M&Ms are premium.
Doesn't
Sunrise
taste like
8 says,
peanut
weird
butter.
M&Ms.
Hold on. I think my robot is lying. All right, comment. Look again. Tell me what this is. You're telling me peanut butter, and it does not taste like peanut butter, even a little bit. Hello, Comet. Did you fall asleep on me? Here I am praising robots. My robot is failing me. Comet, what is this? Oh my God, you're such a failure. You're a failure at life, Mr. Robot. I'm going to restart you, and you're going to read the bag to me. People are like, oh, there's all this technology that can help out blind people. Yeah, if you got a week and a half to have it help, how much easier would it be to just like, you know, use your eyeballs and look at stuff? Comet, are you there?
I can see what your camera is pointed at, so I can use that live video to help with whatever you're working on.
All right, what am I eating? What is this?
That's an M&M's chocolate bar.
No, it's not. They're a bunch of M&Ms. What kind are they?
Ah, you're looking at the M&M's peanut chocolate bar.
Nope.
It features whole...
You're lying. This is not peanut butter. You're just straight up lying. You tell me what flavor this is.
My bad, you were right. It looks like you have the milk chocolate variety.
This thing is dumb. Comment you're dumb and you're fired. I'm going to go back to the chat and see if they want to tell me. I'll just tell you. I'll tell you what I think it is.
Tiny Gamer Zero says so, not a speed cuber.
It tastes like...
Garth Agreed 1 says M&M's chocolate bar would be awesome.
I mean, that would be kind of
Tiny
cool.
Gamer Zero says oh, never mind.
This tastes like...
At Brody
coffee.
Huggins J8K says, have you ever heard of Alvin and the Chipmunks?
Toffee and coffee. That person has been
Lenovo Fan
asking
2003 says show us.
if I have heard... Hold on. Is this the front? If that person has been asking if I've heard of Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Lenovo Fan 2003 says other side please.
Okay, other side. There we
At
go.
Jenny says it's backwards. Ryan B3RRY says show the bag other side.
Hopefully
Angel 3 Fry says I can't really tell what it is besides M&M.
Yeah,
Sorry.
It's M&M, but it's
Agreed 1 says back.
no way, I'm back. I'm on the
says
back
turn
again.
it around.
Or turn around again?
Boy Jaming 2855 says I'm 150 within USA 2x2 speed solving.
There's only two sides.
At Starfire 8742 says hello again Pete, nice live stream title.
Thank you. I
Boy
appreciate
Jaming
that.
2855 says top. Lalatwipa says it looks like caramel.
Okay, that's what we're
Tiny
going
Gamer
with.
Zero says how is 3x3 4 minutes and 2x2 is elite level.
Well, sounds like you guys got some serious cubing going on. I feel like I want to eat these whole... Oh, I forgot. I did not forget, because I remembered, which means I didn't forget. But I did the 2 minutes story. I'm doing the blind guy taste test, whatever these are. I'm telling you, there's something coffee in here, because it's not just... Like, I feel like someone took toffee and dropped it in a thing of... Whoa.
Blue Shadow Wolf just subscribed for 6 months.
Wow, that's a big subscription. Thanks, Blue Shadow Wolf. I appreciate that. That's what happens when you subscribe over on Twitch. You make a rather alarming boner noise sound, and then I show up on the screen riding a banana in my pool. I feel like I want to try one more robot, but the ChatGPT robot, it used to do... I was a huge fan of it because it used to do live. Now it doesn't. Attach content. So, camera. All right. Hopefully I'm going to take the picture of the right side of this thing at this point. Can I take a picture with the side? Oh, yeah, I did it. Okay. All right, now, what am I eating? I am asking, what am I eating? How do I send that? Send. All right. Let's see if
I can see the brown bag with the classic colored M&M candies on it. Grinning face with smiling eyes.
it's telling me I'm eating M&Ms. I'm going to kill all the robots because it's not just... That's the thing. That. All right, Sam, these are not just regular M&Ms. What flavor are they?
Chicken. Right, so not the regular ones. Those are peanut butter.
I hate you.
Lolatopause just cheered 200 bits. Chat is saying it's caramel and cold brew.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Thank you. God. That started a hype train?
Hype train started.
That's kind of... And I know, LT, I owe you the thing, or I gotta shut up. Oh my God. Oh, there we go. La Cucaracha. What the hell? I don't remember programming this. We'll have this.
Train.
We'll have this going for the hype train.
MS Nibble says some caramel and cold brew M&M sound good right now.
Yes, I knew. I'm telling
Angel
you.
Free Fry says psychological warfare robots.
I knew it was coffee.
Lalatwipa says lol.
This is the hype train.
At
We're gonna rock out.
8260 says Sadie Sink is Jean Grey. Lenovo Fan 2003 says trainee hype. At Starfire 8742 says yeah I can only do so much lol.
It took me forever to figure that out. If you get a lot of people like you should do a live blind guy unboxing. I'm telling you, when you watch a blind guy unboxing that's like a minute or 2 minutes long, it's like 45 minutes or 50 minutes of me filming and holding things up to the camera in different ways, being like, is this the way? Is this the way? Because it can't just be the back all the time. By the way, I'm rocking out while eating my cold brew caramel coffee, mildly because there's a hype train going on, and I like to celebrate while the hype train is going on. There is a little hole on this bag, and oh wait, my song ended. I want another song. No, I don't want that one. I just heard that one. Aha! There we go. Some good 80s stuff. cheesy 80s music will get us through the hype train. I'm a little alarmed that there's like a tiny little hole in this bag because it kind of seems like it'd be the size of a bug. So I'm either going to be eating a caramel cold brew M&M or a really delicious tasting bug. I feel like that was 10 minutes for me to figure out. And I knew I should have stuck to my guns. Should have stuck to my guns and been like, this is definitely some sort of copy. And the two stupid robots are like, you're eating peanut butter M&Ms. Liars. All right. I got the thing redeemed. Oh, this one's got weirdness to it. What is going on with that M&M? There's like a mutation thing on it. I'm still gonna eat it because it's delicious. These are the best M&Ms I've ever had in my entire life. Thank you for redeeming the Blind Guy Taste Test tonight. And thank you for whoever put those in my box. I'm very happy about that. All right. So we did the voiceover voice activate. We did the Blind Guy Taste Test. Oh, it's so loud.
Lola Tupors just cheered 200 bits. Oh dang Pete, that was the one I tasted and put it back in the bag.
Gross. It definitely did feel like it was a little chewed on. Oh, all right. I'm going to do the 90 seconds of the chat. Be nice. I mean, I can, this isn't like a hard rule. I don't have to like sit there and let it swear at me. I can turn it off. That was the last thing that was redeemed. And then we'll do the check Pete's voicemail if I can remember what buttons I'm supposed to press. So, all right. Let's see if I can get my phone to do something correct tonight. Set timer for 90 seconds. Is it all you guys?
Tiny
you guys
Gamer Zero
this.
says I have had a cheat cube explode on me once. At Fernanda Barrages 8747 says what's up. Voy Jaming 2855 says Tiny Gamer I do use lube on the cube but it's not enough to stop it from rubbing. Ryan B3RRY says where is Brooks? Evan White 1029 says I'm watching this while I lift. At James Gardner PZ3RL says Lola you're funny. Bagart the Great 1 says what? Fedlin Fisherman 27 says yeah we're family friendly for the most part. Lalatwipa says I'll use better behave while I'm visiting my family in September. At Snow Angel 9100 said hi. Sharksy 3344 says are you in an eye drop at I forgot what brand. Sunrose 8 says I have like 20k channel points. I could make you have a very silent stream lol. At Brody Huggins J8k says did you know it's been 20 years since Talladega Nights, the Ballad of Ricky, Bobby dropped in 2006. Lalatwipa says welcome in at Sharksy 3344. Lenovo Fan 2003 says it's 3:26 a.m. for the German. Ryan B3RRY says banana home. Lalatwipa says blind. Kasturlab says Pete began losing his eyesight at the age of 8 due to a genetic disorder known as Stargardt's disease. Currently he only has light sensitivity with no ability to detect images, detail or objects of any kind. Bagart the Great 1 says yes he is in an eye drop. At James Gardner PZ3RL says can he make it?
I did it.
Blind Surfer PG Sidekick says what is a lube cube I'm confused.
Yeah, I know.
At Lalatwipa says have a thanks.
As soon as I...
At
There you
Snow
go.
Angel.
So I almost got through this whole bag, too. This is not what I should be eating for dinner. I always have a small appetite when it's like 1,000,000 degrees up, and it's been so hot around here. So I told you, I'm eating this whole bag of cold brew caramel M&Ms, which, holy crap, you guys like have to get these. I feel like I want to become their new spokesman. These things are absolutely amazing. There, last one. Then you don't have to hear me chew anymore, but those things are good. Let's see if I can remember. Oh.
Cries P111 just followed.
I have a feeling it wasn't Christ P. I bet you it was Crispy. I mean, it could have been Christ P, but that seems like a rather random username. I think it was Crispy.
Lola Tupors just cheered 200 bits. Pete, we hacked the system for you to be quiet. We need to give you food first.
That's a good idea. Yeah, that's actually a good order to do it in. Make me do a taste test and then shut up, and then I shut up and chew while you guys do the text voice only. But no, you can't do. I think that it's set up that I only do those things once per stream, because if I had that going on constantly, then yes, I would be completely shut up all the time. You guys would. Honestly, I feel like the stream would go perfectly well if I just sat here quietly and then you guys chatted amongst yourselves. I definitely feel like that would work out just fine. I'm trying to remember all the stuff that people asked while I was quiet. Where is Brooks? He never does Tuesday with me, and also he has a birthday party to go to, so you're stuck with just me and my chicken and my penguin tomorrow. Banana may be coming in, may not tomorrow because we're getting house guests, which I gotta say, like I love when people visit. I love when people get to experience our life, our lifestyle out here. They get to come and visit in San Diego, but it's just, most people, a lot of people work from home these days. Ever since 2020, a lot of people have been working at home. But when you have house guests and they're on vacation and they're in your home where you also happen to work and where, your work is sound dependent. I do have a soundproof room, but to a point, I always get stressed out when we have house guests. I'm like, no, if you're listening, I'm very happy you're coming. I'm excited to have you come out, but it's pretty damn stressful when you have house guests. They're like, we're on vacation. I'm like, I'm at work.
At Blocks98 tip $20 through Super Chat.
Whoa, Bloxy.
HI return.
He's back. Thanks, Bloxy. I appreciate it. Did I say 28? That was a very random number. I love when you come in here and you make it rain. It's very much appreciated, but not necessary. I appreciate all sorts of contributions, but I love everybody out there who comes and joins me for these ridiculous shows that I do. But Bloxy is over on YouTube. Maybe there was a war on Twitch between Bloxy and Lola, and it seems like Bloxy's gone back to YouTube. I'm curious whether he's vertical or horizontal. But whichever way you're facing, I appreciate it. We are on YouTube, horizontal and vertical. We're on Twitch at Pete Gustin. We're on TikTok. I never get notified when I get kicked off TikTok. It doesn't tell me. I just, at the very end of the stream, they're like, at 43 minutes, you said something inappropriate. And we're also on Facebook on horizontal. I got the largest pair of underpants in the mail today. And they were supposed to be for me. You know how you order stuff on Amazon and then it's like, buy it again? I mean, I'd bought some, that's that whole bag of caramel, cold brew caramel M&Ms. Well, that was a delicious burp, I'll tell you that much. I bought some medium boxer briefs and then I hit reorder. And I figured that they would send me the same one because I was just doing reorder. They sent me triple XL boxer briefs today. And I'm like, what in the hell am I going to do with these things? They're massive. My waist is only like 31. Yeah, I think I wear like a 31 or 32. And these things fit someone up to like a 50-inch waist. And I was like, okay. I still am not sure what I was supposed to do with the... Yes?
At Blocks98 tip $20 through Super Chat.
Box.
Horizontal but facing forward.
Very good. That was the very first. So he's on YouTube horizontal. On it, like, no offense to anybody that's watching on vertical. The vertical stresses me out because, like, I grew up knowing what a horizontal platform looked like. Every movie I saw when I had vision, horizontal. Every television show that I saw, horizontal. And now, because everybody's like, oh, I don't want to go through the effort of turning my phone sideways, basically everything's done in vertical. All my YouTube shorts are in vertical and stuff. And like the whole idea, like I have a good sense of what Bloxy and everybody else that's watching me in horizontal is looking at now. There's me and there's Petey and then there's the chicken. But like the vertical, it's like, it's got to be all squished in. And I think like my logo's up here, like trying to do cinematography on vertical is difficult. And the fact that I can't actually see it, I just have to ask people like, does it look good? Is it all right? So, I mean, however you feel like orienting your phone. But so someone at a Blind Guy Unboxing mailed me a Mrs. Claus outfit, and it was, I don't know who it was for. It was large, but it was Mrs. Claus. I tried to put some of it on just because I was trying to be a good sport. It was like 2 Christmases ago, obviously. I didn't get in the middle of the summer. And I'm trying to figure out if they thought Banana was like a big girl, which she is not. She's like 100 pounds, maybe 102. Or if they didn't know, like they gave me a large, but it was a large women's. So to this day, I don't know exactly who that gift was for. Oh, and right before the stream started, I don't know if this person is still around. Someone came into the YouTube vertical last week, and they asked if I had like my tin cup out, and I got mildly offended as I can get, which these days I'm getting a slightly thicker skin, but I was like, hey, is that a blind trope? The old like, I'm blind, please put some money in my jaw because I can't fend for myself or make a living. And then right before the stream started, they were like, oh, I was just doing that. I call YouTube U-tip because they feel like everybody on YouTube is basically asking for people to super chat or give them money and stuff. And like, I mean, I don't hate it when people do that. Fortunately, I do have another job, so I don't have to do it too much. But, Bloxy's supporting me. Lola's supporting me. Sarah and Mateo, when they're around, they've been supporting me for years. I appreciate everybody. And, these days, now I sell soap.
The Blind Surfer Show is brought to you by Blind Penguin Frothing Hand Soap. Order a mystery box, pump the nozzle, and see if you can determine the scent just by smell. When you're ready to know for sure, peel to reveal. Order today at blindpenguin.com. Get your box of Blind Penguin Frothing Hand Soap. Banana and I made a bunch more boxes this weekend, so we do have some more to ship out if you want to get one at blindpenguin.com. So
Blind Surfer PG Sidekick says, besides the obvious XXZ stuff, how you ever unbound something?
Whoa.
At Jenny said,
At Blocks98 tip $20 through Super Chat. I have exams in the morning, so I'ma go to sleep.
Well, thank you for dropping. It was like 28, 20, and 20. Is that 68 or more? That was an expensive 10 minutes of viewing for you, Bloxy, but I wish you the best of luck with your exams. I'm curious to know what you're studying for, what you're studying to do. But thanks for coming in and supporting and making Banana proud of me. She does. She'll ask. She's like, how'd you do? I'm like, oh, everybody was nice. We had a lot of conversation. She's like, how'd you do? I'm like, oh, I got like $70. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much, and good luck in your exams tomorrow. Wait, I just realized.
At Brianspris 1456 says you must wear more beautiful shirts like this all the time.
Thank you. I've heard that this one is absolutely adorable and beautiful and stuff. But I was just gonna say, exams. What are we? August? That was the date. August 11th. Why are you taking classes August 11th? Are you in summer school? That does not sound like fun. So yeah, when I wore this one to the beach.
Lola Topors just cheered 200 bits.
Thank you.
This is so banana doesn't shake you down mafia style.
If I'm gonna be spending all this time in here, it can't just be fun and games. I gotta contribute to this household somehow. What was that one? Oh, it's a follow on YouTube. I appreciate that. Little Skylar's head pops up. And wouldn't you know it, as soon as Banana came back, Banana went away for, what was that, like 8 days? And Skylar was just pissing all over everything constantly. Just ruined the rug, had to throw that thing out. Ever since Banana came back, she's been mostly good. What happened the other night? We had a visitor over. And I know what it was. The other night, Skylar hates it. Skylar's the little tiny 9.5-pound dog. You just saw her face on the screen because of the YouTube follow. But we had a smoke detector that was about to go off, and she hates the smoke detector. And she went into a closet and unloaded a massive amount of pee in the closet. And I sat there with paper towels. Tell me I'm bad for the environment, but I went in there and like soaked up with like 60 paper towels. I was like, how do you have that much pee inside you? You're 9.5 pounds. But that was the wall-to-wall installed carpeting, so I didn't have a choice but to try and fix that up. Over the weekend, can I tell you this story? Over the weekend, let me pop over here for a second. I feel like the chat's been exciting this evening. All sorts of action. Although this chat lady, hold on.
At Brianspris 1456 says maybe accelerated courses. Some institutes offer exams every 3 months.
Actually, that's true. When I was trying to get out of Boston University sooner rather than later, I did take summer classes. I mean, it wasn't super fun to be in school in the middle of summer, but I was trying to get the hell out of that place before it drove me crazy. And so I did my degree soon and did take summer classes at BU. So this weekend, there's a little girl, Banana is a nanny, and there's this little girl that she's been watching since she was, I don't know, like 14 months old.
Fisherman 27 says, when are you shipping the soaps out?
Well, they ship out like the day people order them. Right. Have you ordered them and haven't gotten any?
Bagard 1 says summer classes are so expensive.
They should, yeah, that was the other thing. They charge you like double for the summer. If you order soap, it usually ships out the next day. And usually people get them pretty quick. If there's been some delays, hit me up, let me know. blindsurfershow@yahoo.com. But hopefully, I mean, as soon as you order, you get the tracking information. So hopefully there's no problems there. But yeah, Banana's been watching this little girl since she was like just over a year old. And we spent, I've been watching this little girl grow up, and she didn't know I was blind. We can't like explain to a 1-year-old or 2-year-old or 3-year-old that I'm blind. And it was mildly heartbreaking for me sometimes when she'd be over here and she'd be like, Pete, look at this. Or, she'd color something and be like, Pete, look what I made. Or, she'd be doing like something funny. She's like, Pete, look. I'm like, I can't. It's like so disappointing and stressful. I'll fake it. I'll be like, that's great. And she doesn't really you know, it's just doesn't really care what my response is, just as long as I'm paying attention. Like, yeah, that's great, that's awesome. But we finally had a conversation with her this weekend. She was with us. Banana and I were watching her. She's not ours, but Banana's the nanny. And we were walking to go get some pizza and ice cream. And I had my blind guy stick. And I was also holding Banana's hand. And she's like, why is he holding your hand? And Banana explained to her, you know, like, I can't see, so I need to be led around. And this girl's 5. She's 5 years and 8 weeks. 5 years, 7 weeks, somewhere around there. And she got it like instantly. Like, I was shocked. I don't have a lot of reference points to kids. I was an only child. I've never been around a lot of young kids, but to me, I didn't think she'd get it. And Banana explained it to her. You know, it was like it's like she even told her that I'm like washed out. You know, like when he's outside, it's just like all washed out and he can't see anything. And then immediately the next day, we go to a park together and she's like holding my hand and leading me to like the different things that she's going to play on. And she's like telling me, she's like, there's something coming up in a couple of steps. You're going to want to step up. Little 5-year-old girl. And then at one point she really wanted me to drink some water because it was hot. And she's like leading me over to the water bubbler or the water fountain, whatever you call it. And she's like walking me over to it. And she's like, you want the kid one or the big one? I was like, well, I'm kind of big, so the big one. And then she takes a moment and asks a very like adult question, little 5-year-old girl. She's like, so can you see anything? Is it blurry? Do you have anything? I'm like, no, I got nothing. And so she processes that in her little 5-year-old brain. And she's like, okay, well, I'm going to hold down the water. Maybe put your hand so you can feel where it is. I'm like, oh my God, this isn't like, what a switch. Like, she was 4 years and 11 months and we couldn't get her to understand that I couldn't see at all. She was always trying to show me stuff. You know, look at this, look at that. And then all of a sudden 5 years and 7 weeks, and she's like the best little guide ever. Like, did better than some adults that I've had. So I was really excited about that. That was kind of neat. My only experience with a little kid. We even she wanted to sit down and watch K-pop Demon Hunters. Anybody seen that? And she was describing it to me. She's like, this character has purple hair and this character has brown hair. And I was like, oh, this is super cute. She's like my real life text to speech or real life audio description. So that was kind of fun for me this weekend. That was one of the things I took the day off from surfing just to.
The Guard Figure One says, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Tiny Gamer Zero says, fire movie.
Oh, K-pop Demon Hunters.
Lenovo Fan 2003 says, I meant to say I'm a Switch device.
Okay. Can I give a minor spoiler about that? Only
Sharksy
because
3344 says she's so cute.
She was cute, adorable. He is cute. She is adorable, and she's also a big fan of the Blind Penguin frothing hand soap. She was using those things. She's like, these are delicious. She was actually one of the first people I told you there was one scent that we thought we were gonna like lock it in. We thought it was gonna be. I think it was.
The Guard Figure One says no spoilers.
Oh, all right.
Fat Doodle with the truck says can't wait to hear my voicemail. Hope I didn't miss it.
Oh, I got to get to the voicemail.
Lola says she is.
Sorry, Lola. She was one of the ones, like, we made an apple cider donut flavor and we thought it was really good. And we'd smelled it like on a Tuesday. And then the little girl was over here like on a Friday and she pushed it out and she's like, this smells bad. And we're like, oh, you're right. It totally settled weird and smelled all vinegary. Yeah, I only got like 3 messages, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Now it's time to check Pete's voicemail on the Blind Surfer Show.
All right, so when you dial 760-517-6844, that person was just saying that they can't wait to hear their thing. You're going to have to wait until tomorrow because we screen them a day ahead of time and play them. Last night or over the past couple days, we only got 2 or 3 messages, and if I press the right button, maybe it'll play. I hear something.
How do blind people know when to stop wiping?
Okay. This is why, first of all, that's like 30% of the entire voicemail thing. And I'm just playing that to people think I'm joking or exaggerating about that joke and that trope. Like, if I get 10 messages, there's like 3 or 4 of them asking the same exact question. That stupid question. And I have answered it. Like, there's videos about it. Stupid thing to ask, though. Like, would you ever ask that in person to, like, oh my God, it's so good to meet you. How do you know what you're doing? And that, the crazy thing, reason I didn't nix that one getting played is because it was an adult. Like, that was not like a 6-year-old. Like, that was an adult. And it just blows my mind. Like, I actually hope that when people ask that question and people they know hear them, whether it's on the show or recognize their username, like I hope everybody tells them how stupid they are, because it's a stupid question to ask. Anyway.
Hey, Pete, I was wondering if I should be the next LAPD police negotiator. I mean, imagine me with just a megaphone. I mean, here, I got one right here. Let me demonstrate. Oh, that's the wrong one.
Come out with your hands up. P-word. Can't say that on the show, can I? I'll be like, this is a certified idiot classic. I mean, you're going to get shot or you're just going to get arrested, so you might as well bring it out now.
See, that's kind of fun. He comes with a script. He's got an announcer voice going on right there. He's got his own sound effects. There you go. That's what you can do with Check Pete's voicemail. Dial 760-517-6844. We are in a very, very quiet neighborhood. Like there's just not a lot that goes on around here. That megaphone thing just had me remembering this. It was like last summer and not that far. We heard like megaphone, like you need to come out or we're going to come in. And at one point, I never found out what was going on at that house, but they were like, we're going to send the dogs in. I was like, whoa, is that what they do? Like they send the dogs in before they send the people in? I'm curious about like police protocol, whatever was going on at the house. It was definitely in our neighborhood. It made me think of that, but the person that just left that voicemail sounded a little more professional. It's like some professional announcing going on. Last one is from...
Hey, Pete, it's Lola with the Two Paws.
Lola,
Big
two
fan,
paws.
long-time listener, first-time caller. Hope you're doing well. In light of my liquid...
Oh, hold on, I got to pause for a second because that wasn't appropriate. I went like that. I went Lola. And for my blind viewers, I was doing the honk honk with my two hands as if I was grabbing something. But she said Lola of the Two Paws. So I put up my two paws. That's what I was going for.
Right here, I was wondering if you can choose to eat one meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, for 2 weeks straight without negatively impacting your health, what would you choose? Have a good one. Bye.
All right. So Lola has been on an all liquid diet. And she's got to do it for 2 weeks. 2 weeks at a minimum, I hear. And she's asking if I could eat one thing without negatively impacting my health, I think she said. What would I eat? What would I want? It would have to be the same thing for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
At Brody Huggins J8K says I've heard of K-pop Demon Hunters, but I haven't seen it.
It was very, very popular and had a very popular song.
At Jenny says ha 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 ha.
Called Golden.
Sharksy 3344 says no, the dog thing is most of the time lying to them to go outside.
You're trying to think, like if you had to eat the same thing, I feel like you're going to hate my answer. If I'd eat the same thing every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 2 weeks, I feel like you're going to hate my favorite food is ribs, but you can't eat ribs for 2 weeks and you can't do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like I can't wake up and eat ribs. That would be disgusting. I do remember the very first time Banana got a honey baked ham. She ordered it for Thanksgiving out here. And I'm not a big fan of turkey. Thanksgiving, like my poor mother, every year at Thanksgiving, she had to make like a lasagna for me because I hated the damn turkey. I don't like it. It's dry. It's not super juicy. We went and had, Banana and I went to the Four Seasons for Thanksgiving this past year. Like, you know, one of the best meals you can pay for and get. And I'm like, all right, let's see what Four Seasons turkey is like. And that was dry. I was like, damn it, turkey is always just dry. It's a crappy bird. Then it makes you tired with the tryptophan. But we did get honey baked ham. And I kind of like shoved it in the back of the fridge because I didn't want her to know that I was eating honey baked ham, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like for a while. And then at one point she's like, is that thing still in the fridge? You can't eat that. It was like 8 days later. And she's like, you can't keep eating that. It's like slimy. And she took it and threw it away. I was like, no, but that's not my answer because I feel like I had an addiction to the honey baked ham at that point.
Sharksy 3344 says yes, Panera bread.
Panera bread.
Bogart Agreed 1 says yes, bread and biscuits.
I can't eat bread and biscuits for dinner. Like that's not good. I think I have an answer.
Tiny Gamer 0 says unfrosted Pop-Tarts.
Oh, well, why unfrosted? Oh, I haven't had frosted Pop-Tarts in forever. I used to love
Lenovo
Pop-Tarts.
Fan 2003 says no German bread.
I don't even know what German bread is. My favorite frosted
Lalatupa
Pop-Tarts.
says it has to be one single dish.
I can do it. I can do it. I'll give you an answer. But frosted Pop-Tarts, I liked the blueberry ones. Oh, the blueberry frosted Pop-Tarts. And I remember the frosting was kind of like a light blue. Anything blue is absolutely I don't know why I forgot about Pop-Tarts. I've completely forgot. They're probably terrible for you, but I used to eat Pop-Tarts all the time. I don't I'm like a good role model in some respects, terrible role model. Like I'm always like, work hard, good work ethic, find a way, overcome, achieve, inspire, motivate, all that good stuff. But then in another respect, I'm like, eat candy all day. Don't wear a helmet while you're skateboarding. So many, the only time, the two videos, I've done so many skateboarding videos. I feel like the only two times I ever wore a skateboard was when I was on the electric skateboard doing like 30 miles an hour. And then the first time I was dropping into a ramp, I was wearing a skateboard, or I was wearing a helmet there. Other times, not so much. But yeah, when I was a kid, I lived on Pop-Tarts. Samoa, however you say it, Samoa Pop-Tarts. I thought those would be amazing. But even my
Howling
teenage...
Commando says, hello, Pete, great to be here.
Hey, great to have you here.
At Benji Tiresias says, HII. I love your videos. Your videos are so inspirational to me.
Well,
I have 50% vision in my right eye, and I am currently losing my vision little by little every day in my left eye.
Well, that's
At
scary,
Farinu
but,
says that's good too.
But,
Lenovo Fan 2003 says toast.
You can't eat toast every day. You can't have toast. I was going to say, keep trying to live your life every day, even without your sight. It is possible. You can't eat toast every day. Toast with butter, toast with jam, toast with jelly, toast with marmalade, I suppose. That's pretty good. But, I was saying the Samoa, however you say them, Pop-Tarts, I thought they'd be good. They were gross. It was gross. It was nasty. It was just like granulated, cheap chocolate sugar, and it was like the worst version of everything. Like the chocolate they use in the s'more Pop-Tart was crappy chocolate. The marshmallow flavor was like a plasticky marshmallow. Everything about that was absolutely disgusting. I did not like that. Strawberry frosted, blueberry frosted, those are all good. I'll give you my answer.
At Jenny says chalk for the blind husband. Ha ha ha.
Is he? Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Blind husband eats or not eats now.
Lenovo Fan 2003 says, imagine eating drywall like it's normal.
Drywall.
Tiny Gamer Zero says, definitely not rat poison though.
No, don't eat rat poison. Don't do that. You're gonna get me kicked off TikTok even saying silliness like that. I just had to push I felt the surfboard starting to fall down behind me. I don't know why it starts to fall down, but it does. Yeah, blind husband was saying that. What was he saying? Like as a kid, he used to eat chalk. It sounds terrible. I would not want to eat chalk. All right, my answer: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 2 weeks. If I had to do it 2 weeks straight, I would eat. Drum roll, please. Hawaiian pizza. If I had to eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because cold pizza is a totally acceptable breakfast. You can roll out of bed. You can have yourself some cold pizza. And the Hawaiian, it's got pineapple on it, so I got some fruit. I got the ham on it, so I got some meat. And then, of course, pizza, I got my bread, I got my carbs, I got my cheese, so I got some dairy, and even the tomato sauce is vegetable. So I feel
Emily
like
Dream says, my mom's strawberry fluff is what I would eat for breakfast if I could breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Fluff.
Sharksy 3344 says, yes, Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah, thank you.
The Guard the Great One says, oh no, does it come in different flavors?
People that have a problem
Lenovo
with...
Fan 2003 says, yummy a car. Lalatwapa says, nope, and it tastes like aspartame and spoiled milk.
Yeah, that's gross. The stuff that she's drinking, I mean, God forbid, she's drinking something for medical reasons. And of course, the doctors forgot to make it taste halfway decent, which is why we're trying to figure out what you would want to eat if you had to eat the same thing, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 2 weeks straight. But yeah, I was never even a cold pizza person until, hold on, I have to check something. I have to make sure that, oh yeah, okay. I just want to make sure I press the right buttons. Until Banana, just like one morning, she was eating some leftover pizza and she didn't heat it up. I'm like, that sounds gross. Like my whole life, I'd always just eaten warm pizza. And then finally I was like, I don't feel like eating it up. I'm pretty starving. So I just took a bite of the cold pizza and I was like, oh. And it was kind of like a different meal. It was like a totally different meal. I was like, okay, well, I don't hate that. So, you can eat cold pizza for breakfast and then I could have that for lunch too, probably heat it up for lunch. But I want it to be, I do want it to be fresh. Like I want a fresh new, I don't want to just keep reheating or nothing ruins good pizza crust more than microwaving it. You get this like nice fluffy crust and it's like kind of got some crunch on the outside and it's all soft and delicious on the inside. And then you microwave it and you're like, oh great, it's all rubber. So caveat to the one thing I'd eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I would like to say that I want it to be fresh pizza. If anybody, I mean, you can't eat
At
hamburgers.
Ramen Fury
breakfast,
1904
lunch, and
says said
dinner.
hi.
Hi, what's going on? Hi, what's going on? How you doing? You can't eat hamburgers or hot dogs. Whoever said toast? You can't just have toast 3 days. That's like
Tiny Gamer Zero says nah, but sodium bicarbonate is good.
What the
At
hell's
Howling
sodium
Commando says
bicarbonate?
lasagna, it can be made into the most complete food possible.
Ooh.
Meat, milk, carbs, vegetables, and maybe a touch of fruit be perfect. That way kind of fits in with the whole pizza theme too.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
At
I don't think that's
Lalatapa
any.
says at Brody Huggins J8K he has answered your question.
Yeah.
Join it blind
I
says
did.
yo Pete, how ya doing today?
I'm doing pretty
The
good. How
Garth the
you
Greek one
doing?
says you've got this Lola, stay strong only a little longer and you can celebrate with your favorite food.
Yeah, or just celebrate with having a good stomach. That's also a celebration when you're dealing with those issues. It's pretty exciting when it all gets back in order. And I have not had to deal with that. I've got plenty of other issues. But
Lalatapa
that's
says
not
thanks
one
at
of
the
them,
Garth the Great one.
but it does happen for.
At Jenny says
banana.
it's too early to be talking about food. Pete's gonna get hungry and have to go lol.
Well, what time is it? How long we been here for?
6:55 p.m.
6:55 in the p.m. Wait, what
The
time did I
Garth the Great
start?
one says lol.
I think I started at 5:55.
At Tharinu says pizza is a great answer.
Thank you.
Lenovo
I mean,
fan 2003 says I didn't even know about that Lola.
It seems a little vanilla toast or vanilla or what's the phrase I'm looking for? White toast or vanilla? Like
At
it's
Howling
kind of like a
Commando
generic.
says heck you can even deconstruct pizza and lasagna.
Yeah,
At Jenny says
that
1
too.
hour ago.
I kind of So I've been on for about an hour. I'm weird in that I like to play with my food. Like I will.
Tiny
spend
Gamer
some
Zero
time.
says LeBron.
I will
Nerdism
I will
B83.
spend some time on my food. Like if it's a candy bar, I've done videos about this where I like nibble around a Kit Kat and then I nibble each layer, or like a Rolo. Like you try and eat all the chocolate off and you get to the caramel in the middle of it. I mean, you name a candy and I'll tell you how I like nibble it to death. Even like peanut M&Ms, like I try and crack the outside shell, and then I eat the chocolate, and then I eat a Snickers bar. Now, if you're one of these weird people like me, do you start? I start upside down. I flip the Snickers bar over. I eat the bottom layer of chocolate. Then I eat the nougat. Then if I'm feeling really ambitious, I try and get the chocolate off of the top to expose the peanuts, and then I eat the peanut and caramel together. Kit Kat Twix bar. Of course, you eat the chocolate off of the sides, and then you either eat the cookie or the caramel on top. But I will even do it with pizza. It's weird, but I'll get to the end of the pizza, and so I'll have the piece of crust, and then I just kind of like dig my finger into the crust, and so I take all the soft bread out. Now I eat the soft bread that's in the crust. And then because I have to be extra weird, I flip the crust inside out so that the hard part of the crust is now on the inside and the soft part is on the outside. And I'll eat and nibble the soft part of the crust. And that's why I hate it when I microwave my pizza. I feel like it ruins my weird crust eating habit. So I like me some fresh crusted pizza. Did I get the? As the show goes on, the text lady responsiveness gets slower
Tiny
and
Gamer
slower.
Zero says cookies and cream Reese's peanut butter cups. Lenovo fan 2003 says I broke it.
What'd you break? Hold on, I'm getting some water because my voice is getting dry. Where's my water?
Kimbo 14 says sometimes I just only eat the soft part of the crust lol.
I do that sometimes.
Nerdism B83 TV says what do you think of sucking on candy? At Howling Commando says you're not the only one who does that with Snickers. I've done that so many times by the thousands. Well, that explains why I'm so round.
Well, you're so round, is that what you said? That's funny. Yeah, sometimes I will just eat the soft part of the bread and then throw it all depends. If the outside of the crust is like one of those like cheesy crusts or something like
Matt
that.
Honker says Heath bars are fun to eat frozen.
Dude, Heath bars are
Tiny
underrated.
Gamer Zero says rainbow.
And I keep getting told
Lenovo
that like,
fan 2003 says Pete, if you
Yes.
wonder, I broke my mouse. At XX Reaper Voigsk says that's why paper plates are the best, they help dissipate the water.
I keep getting told that Heath Bar Crunch is like an old man's candy. I was like, what? Why is that an old man? Like Werther's Originals, that's like an old man candy. Like, I got some Werther's Originals in my pocket here. I can see if someone wanted to say that was an old man candy, but I one of the first things we got that ice cream maker from Instant Pot and made some fresh ice cream. And one of the first things that I had banana, I was like, grab some Heath Bar Crunch. Cause like putting that in an ice cream, I like when you go to those places and you get to put your own toppings on it, I immediately go for the Heath Bar. Like it's delicious. I love Heath Bar Crunch. I think that's a great topping on ice cream. I do remember I used to really like bubble gum. I don't know why. When I was a little kid and I used to get, I'd go to one of those places where you could put whatever toppings you wanted. For some reason, as a kid, I wanted gummy bears and bubble gum. Now, it made eating the ice cream absolutely impossible because like a cold gummy bear is like...
Snoggeek 43059 just followed.
43059. Snobbygeek 43059. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on over to the fun side of things on Twitch. I try not to plug it too much because people fall in love with their platforms. If you're having a good time on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, if you're on TikTok, I mean, you can stay there. But the Twitch is chat is far more active and stable, and people actually get to know each other over there. Plus, all those fun things you can do, the cool emojis, and then the channel point redemptions, and being part of hype trains and all that good stuff. So if you want to come over to Twitch, not trying to be too pushy, but if you want to come on over to Twitch, I wouldn't say it's a bad idea. You heard of that?
It's also known as FNAF.
But wherever you are, I'm happy to have you.
Tiny Gamer 0 says B/2.
B.
Lenovo Fan 2003 says Twitchy Witchy.
Twitchy Witchy. B/2A reminds me of one of the... I was trying to... When I was in college, I was
Bogart the Greek one says there are actually countries that eat more with their hands. Dated a guy from Nepal that ate the food he made us with his hands that I typically would eat with a fork.
I mean, I wish I could eat with my hands all the time. Make my life a lot easier. There's YouTube. What happened? Nothing happened. It didn't say anything. I was waiting for... I've been informed that when it just makes that noise...
Brody Huggins J8K says, no, I don't think I asked Pete if he's ever heard of Twister.
Of course I've heard of Twister. I've heard when it makes that noise, it's a super sticker or something like that, or someone just redeemed a $3 super chat and didn't say anything. I think because it's been working. When Bloxy was here before, it was reading them out loud. Twister was the game, man. Like back when I was in elementary school, like before we had screens and TV on
Lenovo
demand.
Fan 2003 says you like the Twitchy Witchy.
Lola Topors just cheered 200 bits. At I am the best guy I sent 99 cents and put a dizzy sticker face.
Oh, it doesn't read that's annoying. Okay. Well, thank you for translating, Lola. I appreciate that. The dizzy sticker face. So now we know. We just learned that when you do a super chat and you use an emoji, that stupid robot does not read the emoji out loud. There's only one of my robots that reads the emojis, and she is always on strike. Jenny, I'm pressing the Jenny button right now, but she's not working. Maybe I can ask the people to have it read the emojis to me, or maybe I don't want that. Maybe that'd be kind of annoying. What is it you're talking about? Ice cream, candy. What the heck were we talking about? I was just talking about something. I was going to tell you a story. Story time with Pete, but I don't remember what the heck it was.
Tiny Gamer 0 says wait, ads, pause.
Yeah, I guess it does. I mean, if that's what makes it exciting for you to hear each word with a pause in between it. God, that'll be annoying.
Nerdismb83 TV says, and if you make the camera closer, it doesn't read TTS.
If you make the camera closer, it doesn't read TTS. Yep. Sounds about right.
At Brody Huggins J8K says, no, Pete. I meant the movie Twister from 1986.
Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. Helen
Lenovo
Hunt.
Fan 2003 says this is a test. Gulp, 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 gulp.
Gulp, gulp, gulp. Wait, but no, 86. The Twister movie, I'm thinking like there was one like in the 90s with Helen Hunt. There was a movie Twister, which was very, very popular and acclaimed at the time. Yeah, you had me thinking about the game that everybody was playing. I wonder when that came out, like the game Twister. Probably like the 60s. Yeah, when people had to like entertain themselves and like play board games and stuff. There was God, I remember in the 80s.
Lenovo Fan 2003 says, want to laugh a bit?
When people, I always like to laugh. You got a good joke? Like a good time back in the 80s was like people sitting around playing Trivial Pursuit.
Tiny Gamer 0 says, magic.
Magic.
Bogart the Great one says the pause might help between sentences. The chatbot doesn't pause for sentences.
The chatbot doesn't
Blind
pause
says
for
being
anything.
blind. Do you find that you eat foods with your hands that sighted people don't?
I feel like I always did it. I feel like I was always pretty tactile. Like I was always like deconstructing my food and taking it apart and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna like eat a steak, like a prime rib with my hands, though it is mildly annoying.
Blind says me too.
when I'm doing blind. It's doing it blind. I love the text to speech on that one. It's just a little annoying when you got like this nice place and you're at a nice restaurant. I got like a prime rib with some like au gratin potatoes or maybe some rice pilaf and then some like.
Lalatwapa says, guys, please don't try to abuse the robot lady.
Don't abuse the robot
Jenny
lady.
says, I got the blind's husbands up for him.
And then what else would I put on that plate? Maybe some like carrots, some like sliced carrots or something. Like it's a little annoying. Like sometimes I just wish I could just be like blat and like stick my hand like on the plate and be like, okay, there's everything. But that's, one, it's gross, and two, it's inappropriate. And so you use I use the fork almost as if it's like my blind guy cane. I kind of drag it across the plate. I'm like, all right, that's where the meat is. And then I try and cut the meat into pieces. And then sometimes you cut the meat. You ever cut a piece and it moves like a little bit? Like you try and cut it and leave it where it is, but every once in a while, like cut, and then like I don't know, it just. I'm like, hell, where'd that stupid piece go? And then, but then it's kind of like a little surprise at the very end. Like I feel like my steak's all gone. I've eaten all my carrots. I've eaten all my potatoes or rice. I do like rice pilaf, by the way. And then all of a sudden you find that one piece of steak that you cut and lost on your plate. You're like, there it is, bonus. I mean, it's a lot easier if you can just look down and see what's on your plate. But no, I don't eat steak with my hands. Although it would be fun. I feel like it would be fun. I feel like I should do that sometime and see if someone's like, well, he's blind. I guess he's allowed to do that. I'm trying to think of what other games I used to play in the 80s. For some reason, he was talking about the movie Twister, but like, red hand blue.
Adlonkaloo 9026 says, hi Pete, Lori from Illinois. I'm slowly losing my sight. I'm afraid but getting braver watching your videos. Peace hand sign.
Well, I appreciate that you're getting some strength out of watching my nonsense.
Lenovo fan 2003 says, when I sent that one text, it might sound funny.
Okay, good to know.
Adlalatwapa says, welcome in, Lori.
Welcome, Lori. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. And yeah,
Adlonkaloo 9026 says, THX.
You were welcome, although I don't think you're thanking me, because I don't think I did anything.
Kimbo 14 says, eating steak with no knife or fork at home is fun sometimes, lol.
I've never done it. Like I've honestly never cooked my, that's a lie. I was going to say I've never cooked myself a steak. In college, I was talking about this before, that girl Chloe was asking me like, what was my favorite thing about being in college? Like honestly, like discovering what it's like to be an adult, just like being on your own, like the first time you're doing your own laundry, the first time you do your own grocery shopping, the first time, like so many firsts when you live on your own and go to college. And I did like that. Like it was fun. It was enjoyable. It was fun learning how to be an adult. But I didn't have a ton of money I think it was my sophomore year of college. But they had like this steak for sale at the grocery store, and it was garbage steak. Where's my microphone? I feel like it's been moving away from me. Don't run away. I love you. It was some pretty crappy steak, and it had like a lot of fat on it, obviously. And my roommate Randy told me about the broiler, which I didn't even know. I thought the bottom of the oven was just where you put your pots and pans, but we had this thing called a broiler in our oven, and I put my fatty ass gross piece of steak in there and turned the dial to whatever, turned it up like all the way. It was probably like 500 or something like that. And did we have the internet? I think we had the internet back then. It was like 1996. I don't think there was no Google. I wasn't Googling anything. I think I just took a guess, or maybe like one of my friends told me like, oh yeah, you can broil steak. It takes like 3 minutes or something like that. So I threw it in there. I threw it into the broiler for 3 minutes, and then I opened that drawer, and the steak was literally was on fire. I was like, oh my God, like it was 100% like on fire. And I had to grab the what the hell's it called? Fire extinguisher. God, my brain's not working. The fire extinguisher, and I had to ruin my first ever attempt at a steak by blowing it out with the fire extinguisher. Which, by the way, did you know? I had learned this a few years earlier. I was out on a boat. And a friend of mine was goofing around, and he grabbed the fire extinguisher and thought it would be funny to like spray it at me. And for some reason, I don't know, growing up, I think I'd seen some stuff on TV. I thought fire extinguishers were like foam or liquid. Like to me, it seemed like you'd put out a fire with a liquid, I guess, when I was a kid. But that time when I was out on a boat and someone sprayed it at me, and then again a few years later when I had to put my steak fire out, the stuff in a fire extinguisher is powder. Like the person on the boat just like right in my face and was like, Pooah! I was like, oh, I am now covered in powder.
Says,
I didn't
think
expect
that steak was a little too
so
well
I was
done.
going to say I'd never cooked myself a steak, but I did, and it didn't go well. I never cooked a steak ever again. That was my first and only...
At Brody Huggins J8K says, I would love a shout out on a YouTube short at some point. That would be awesome.
You know,
rock.
I love you, Brody. I appreciate your watching, and you're not the first person to ask for that. But have you ever seen a YouTube
Devlin
short?
Fisherman 27 says, how do you like your steak?
Medium rare. I actually like it rare, but these days I order medium rare or medium just to be safe, because sometimes it comes out and Banana's like, that's really bloody.
Dylan Schultz 59 says, I have 2 questions. 1, can you read Braille? And 2, how did you and Banana design your penguin mascot?
I've answered both of those in videos in detail. No, I can't read Braille, and literally go back and watch the video that I posted 2 Wednesdays ago, and it'll give you in detail, in depth, everything you'd ever need to know about how we designed the penguin mascot. I think it's called "She Thinks I'm a Penguin" is the name of that video. But Brody was saying he wants a shout out in a short, and people ask me that a lot, and then sometimes people are like, pin me, and that's literally the comment. Their whole comment is like, pin me. I was like, why would I pin a comment that says pin me? Like, the point of the pinning is like, when I haven't been so great about it because I've been exceptionally jacked up busy lately, but like if Sarah or Matea or Lola sends me something for a blind guy unboxing, if I remember, I'll try and pin their comment, be like, hey, thanks, you're the one that sent this thing to me. Or if someone's saying something exceptionally interesting or engaging, I'll pin that comment so it can help with the engagement. That's what pinning is for, like to say thanks, to highlight someone, or maybe to spark some engagement. But then other people are like, shout me out. So like, I don't know what they want. Like, I'm in the middle of a video, like yesterday's video, I'm talking about how there's some people that don't think I should be surfing because a blind person shouldn't be out in the water. So I'm tackling this topic, and I'm like, oh, hey, by the way, sup, Brody? Or like if I'm in the middle of a blind guy unboxing, I'd be like, this kind of tastes like caramel. Sup, Brody? It just doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. It's hard to just shout somebody out in the middle of a YouTube short. Now, if Banana and Brooks and I are sitting here trying to figure out why every single bottle of the Blind Penguin frothing hand soap says Pete on the bottom of it, and then Lola pops in with the information that it's polyethylene termaplodite or whatever the heck it is.
Jenny says he just got like 4 shout outs.
Yeah, he did. I know.
Jenny says lol.
But he wanted one on a short, and I was explaining why that didn't work. Then Lola's voice.
Renavo fan 2003 says for me, it's 4:11 a.m. Also am broke with channel points.
Well, good. That means you guys can't force me. Well, you can't. Other people can force me to do stuff with all their channel points. All right, don't say that out loud. Jeez Louise. That is someone leaving a voicemail on the 760-517-6844 phone number, which, if it's good, if it's interesting, if it's fun, if you got a good question like Lola had, or if you're being entertaining like the second caller had, we'll play those on tomorrow's show. I will be alone again tomorrow. Like I said, Brooks has better things to do than hang out with me. He's going to be going to a big fun birthday party. So it's me and you and Petey the Penguin and Sam the Chicken and maybe Banana, but I do believe they were going to be having some house guests. So,
David says hi from South Africa. Chicken Joe sends love.
What's going on?
Fan 2003 says others still can redeem happy face.
Yes, they can. Usually the South African crowd only shows up in the morning show. I'll be back in the mornings, Thursday morning and Friday morning. So in South Africa, it's going to be pretty friggin' late if you're catching the evening show right here. So hello all the way over in SA. What is up? And thank you for watching. What was I sidetracked myself. I need like a rewind button for myself. Like, what was I talking about 5 seconds ago? Sometimes I watch the channel. I'm like, God, I feel like watching.
Says welcome in David.
Yes, welcome in. I watch and I feel like I seem like a mental patient.
Jenny says yay for Thursday.
Do you like the morning? You like the morning show, Jenny? There's something peaceful about it for me. Like, I thought I would hate waking up. For some reason, waking up in the 5 o'clock hour. I mean, I didn't want to do it on Monday, which is why I skipped the
Jenny
Monday
says
show.
love it.
That's good. I just kind of felt like I needed some sleep to start off the week on a Monday. But something about waking up at
Jenny says I am usually cleaning a house.
At 5:15.
Says I get up an hour earlier just to watch it.
That's pretty
Jenny
funny.
says I just listen.
that works too. I mean, to sit there and stare at it in the morning. That's sure.
Lalatwapa says it's been a good distraction for me while I drink my terrible medical food.
Yeah, medical food. Just the whole idea of medical food sounds terrible. But yeah, like I wake up at like 5:50,
Lenovo Fan 2003 says for me, you stream at 3 a.m. or 3 p.m.
Wow, that's well, one of those is convenient, the other one's not. But like Banana's generally not up at that time. The dogs aren't up at that time. 5:50, and like the birds aren't even up. And then as I'm setting up in here and getting all the chat ladies to work and trying to get the audio confirmations that all of the cameras are working, I hear that like da-doom, 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 like connected, disconnected, connected, disconnected. As I get all those, it's just kind of like this peaceful wake up, and then I hit confirm and go live, and it goes dun 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 dun. I have to hear 6 different noises to make sure that I've connected to all the platforms. And then as soon as I do, it's like Lola or James or ABC Jenny or the blind husband, blind fisherman, whoever's here with me in the morning. It's kind of like, hey, what's up, Pete? And I'm like, good morning. Just kind of like for some reason, like something kind of peaceful about it. I didn't think I'd like the morning ones. And there's some days, I've committed, quote unquote, committed to doing 6 p.m. Tuesday and Wednesday, 6 a.m. Thursday and Friday. And there might be some morning when I'm like, oh, F this, I need to stay in bed. But for the most part, I kind of like it. Although the Wednesday and the Thursday is a little weird. I feel like it's a lot of Pete. I feel like people, if you got sick of me, I wouldn't blame you too much, because I usually get off the stream at like 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock on Wednesday night, and then I'm back 6 o'clock in the morning on Thursday morning. That does seem like a fair amount, but so far I've been enjoying it. I think it's fun. It's kind of a nice way to start the day. What else do you guys want to talk about?
Regard One says sent him a ton of shorts and a short surfing video. The shorts are awesome for showing people the channel.
Yes.
Tiny Gamer Zero says, have you ever walked around or surfed with a bandana over your eyes or something cool with no blind guy stick to mess with people?
No. I mean, yes.
Kimbo 14 says, my cat lost her little donut thingy to keep her from licking her stitches from her spay. I'm still listening. I'm just confused of where this cat hid it.
I mean, I did an episode with a blindfold.
Lalatwapa says, at Thedlin Fisherman 27, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope everything turns out okay.
It's
Siglind Husband says, ever walk around your house too fast and running into stuff that you know is there?
No, that's, I remember a while ago someone asked me if I like ever walked into a wall, and I got like so insulted about that, because to me, just like when I don't know where things are, I don't just go walking full speed. I take it slow. Like, I feel like if I didn't know where I was and I just started like walking along and I smashed in a wall, like that's not a, that wouldn't be because I'm blind. That would be because I'm an idiot. Like if I was just out in public and decided to walk on a straight line, even though I don't know where I am, like whamp, if I walked into a wall, like that means my noodle's not working. Like, you got to be smarter than that. You got to use your blind guy stick. Now, I will say, on occasion, and I made this big stink of, I've never walked into a wall. However, I will say, like, if I'm carrying a bunch of like garbage out, or I got my arms full or something like that, like I can traverse my own home at a pretty good clip. I can get around at a pretty decent speed, and not being able to see where anything is. But there are times when I'm like carrying stuff and I'm trying to like get through the doorway into another room, and I'll like flunk my elbow on this side. I'm like, damn it, like, because your arms are out as you're carrying something. And I'll tell you that if you ever get hit and you don't expect it, like, I feel like it's way worse. Like, I think I'm clearing the door. I think I'm going to be, like, it's one thing if you're like, oh, I'm not going to fit and I'm going to bonk my elbow. Like, oh, here it comes. Oh, there it is. Oh, that kind of hurt. But like, if you think you're going to be clean and clear, and then you like whack your elbow off of something and you totally didn't expect it, like, that hurts so much more. Banana should be like, why are you being so dramatic? I'm like, I don't know. That hurt a lot. Like, it totally caught me off guard. But no, I've never just like walked into a wall in my house. Like, I know where all the walls are. I've been in this house for 10 years. So I pretty much know where things are.
Lolatupause just cheered 200 bits. I walk into walls, tables, chairs, steps, and railings, and I have almost perfect sight.
Well, I don't know what that says. I think some people are just in their heads, but that, you can't be in your head. Like, I get that. I get people are distracted, doing other things, paying attention to other stuff. Maybe they're on their phones or just thinking about something else, and they walk into something. But you can't be you never get to shut your locational or spatial awareness off when you're blind. It has to be on at all times, as best as you possibly can. When you walk into a room, you have to orient yourself to north, south, east, west. Where's the door? Where are the obstacles? Where's the coffee table? Where's the couch? Where's the chairs? You know, where's the rug? Like, you really have to, you can't turn that off. And can you guys imagine, like, there's not a lot of blind surfers out there for a million different reasons, and very, very, very few that do it the way that I do, where I, you know, my coach is there as a safety precaution, but I catch my own waves. I don't get pushed into the waves.
Lolatapaws just cheered 200 bits. I'm just happy I don't hit those things when I drive.
That would be more dangerous for everybody. Yeah, I hope people keep their spatial awareness up a little bit when they're driving. Although, hear a lot of stories these days, people on their phones when they're supposed to be paying attention to driving. But out in the water, like the constant. I don't know how to describe it. There's plenty of people out there with a good sense of direction, but I feel like I've got this like magnetic thing that I can like lock in when I paddle out. I try and paddle out. One thing that disorients me is when Nisha or Brooks is like, hey, we're going to paddle out and we're going to paddle south as we go. This seems like a minor thing. Like normally, like we get to our spot and we go straight out. But if we paddle south at an angle, because what I'm doing when I'm paddling out is I'm locking in that direction into my brain. So I'm going straight out and I'm knowing behind me is the shore. Because you can't, you gotta catch a wave at a very specific particular angle. So it's really important for me to know where the shore is, one, to catch the waves, and then two, to get back out again. And I feel like every time we paddle out an angle, I'll be saying to Nisha, I'm like, are we paddling an angle? And I've never explained this to her. She's like, yeah, I'm like, okay, well, how much of an angle? She's like, I don't know, like 20 degrees. Like, what? For some reason, I never bothered to explain it to her. A lot of times it's hard to have a conversation when you're paddling out because it's like wave, duck, duck, wave, duck. And there's not a lot of room for talking. But yeah, when I paddle at that angle, like sometimes I lock in the angle. So when I'm trying to like paddle, I want to be paddling straight for a wave, but I'm at this stupid angle because that's the way that we paddled out. It takes me a while to like readjust and reorient, and it's just something that I have to keep in mind when I'm out there. We also, on occasion, it's very, very crowded during the summer, but I kind of like surfing next to the pier in Oceanside because everything sounds different next to the pier. And I can immediately orient myself to which way the beach is because I can hear the waves hitting the pylons. Sometimes I can hear the people on top of the wave, on top of the pier rather. And I kind of like surfing next to the pier in that respect. But I don't like how insanely crowded it is. There's always like a bazillion people over there, and as we have discussed in the past, I don't really like surfing with large amounts of crowds of people. Me and crowds don't mix.
Says, are you okay there, Bogger?
What happened to Bogart? Or Bogart the Great.
Tiny Gamer Zero says, did Lore just drop?
I don't know. You tell me. Hopefully my audio didn't just drop. Hopefully that's not what you're saying. I don't want to be talking to nobody.
Thedlin Fisherman 27 says, this morning I sent a text that said yeah, but the A was an at symbol.
It was an at symbol. Yeah, so it would have been yat. Yacht? Yat. I don't know. You guys got your own conversation going on as usual. Hey, perfect time for me to drop my little advertisement. Ready?
The Blind Surfer Show is brought to you by Blind Penguin Frothing Hand Soap. Order a mystery box, pump the nozzle, and see if...
Lolatapaws just cheered 200 bits. Boggart the Great one, I miss riding roller coasters. Last time I rode one my legs stopped working and the amusement park paramedics and the police had to help me get back to the car.
Oh. That's that would be a deterrent. I interrupted my commercial there to hear that one. I'll play it again later because it's important to me. I have ridden a roller coaster. I did it at Legoland, and boy, did they not want me filming. They did not. And at that point, I was filming anything and everything. Banana and I went out anywhere. I was like, I am filming nonstop. And this woman actually came over. I had like the little GoPro. It was such a. It was such a... I did something weird.
Lolatapaws just cheered 200 bits. You interrupted my bits by playing a commercial, lol.
I shut it off as soon as you started, as soon as it started playing. I have the bits will play out loud during the commercial. Ready? Here's my commercial again.
The Blind Surfer Show is brought to you by Blind Penguin Frothing Hand Soap. Order a mystery box, pump the nozzle, and see if you can determine the scent just by smell. When you're ready to know for sure, peel to reveal. Order today at blindpenguin.com.
That was me saying it at the same time we were saying it. But yeah, order today at blindpenguin.com. I think we got like a handful of each box out there. So go grab one right now. Tomorrow's video that I'm dropping on YouTube and TikTok is going to be all about penguin poop. Because I got pooped on by a penguin. A real penguin took a big giant dump on me. Yeah. So I'm at Legoland, right? And I'm there with Banana, her sister, and her sister's kids. And I got my blind guy stick. You know, and I'm working my way over to the what do they call it? The car that you sit in for the roller coaster. And I hand the blind guy stick to one of the attendants. And this girl, she had to be like 16. Banana told me like a teenager at the most. And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we can't have you film." And so I had a GoPro, and it was on a little tiny, I get so many GoPro attachments, but it was on this tiny little stick, like this big, and it was kind of like an expandable one, so I could hold it even further out or whatever. But she's like, "Oh, you can't film." So I unscrew the GoPro from the stick, and I just hand her the stick, and she's like, "But you can't film," and I was like, "Okay." And I held on to the thing, and then she just, you know, I'm some dude, some adult, and she was like a 16-year-old, and like she didn't care that much about enforcing that rule, because she's like, "This guy's clearly not going to give it. I'm not going to make a thing out of it." So she walked away with my little stick, the little handle for the GoPro, and then I filmed the whole thing. And you know, people ask me all the time, "You ever been on a roller coaster blind?" I'm like, "Yep, did a video." Literally every question anybody asks ever, they're like, "Have you ever?" I'm like, "Yes, I have, and I also made a video about it." But I'll say that, you know, I never really liked roller coasters. I don't like the sensation. I like my stomach staying where it is. I did one of those iFly things that like simulates skydiving. Thought I was gonna throw up in my mask doing that. And the roller coaster too. Like I remember when I was a kid and I did them, like my stomach didn't like it, but at least every turn wasn't a jarring, scary startlement of my insides. Like we're just on this, it wasn't even that crazy of a roller coaster. We're at Legoland. It's like left, right, and like I don't know what's coming. I have no idea. I'm like, whoa, whoa. Like I definitely felt like I was gonna heave it at the end of that thing, but sounds like I made out better than Bogart the Great
she is
One,
not the right girl, but you can't stay away and you end up getting physical hurt because of the relationship. Please give advice.
Oh,
Tiny
man.
Gamer Zero says that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, the not knowing what's coming. If you're into that kind of thing, I don't have a stomach for it. My stomach has just never been great with those kind of rides. Oh, I had friends when I was like in elementary and junior high school. Do you guys know what the zipper is? It's one of those like rides that's one of those
Lenovo
traveling.
Fan 2003 says Pete, at
Yo.
school, I once walked backwards into a pool. Fiddlin' Husband says thanks Lola, now I get what you were talking about when you said your new jewelry, the VIP badges. Love them.
That makes sense. Oh yeah, Lola gave out VIP badges on Twitch. Lola is a what is it called, like a lead mod or something like that. So some of the regulars
says nice.
like Blind Husband, I think LT and a few other people got to be VIPs. You're VIPs of the stream. But the zipper, you're in this little crate, and then the thing, it's like you're spinning around on it, and then the whole thing is spinning, and it looks like a zipper, obviously, and it's spinning like, oh my God, in elementary school, all my friends are like, "I went on the zipper 11 times. I'm like, I went on once, and then I spent 2 days like trying not to throw up on myself. I've just never had the stomach for those rides. I have always hated those types of things. Hello everybody. Every once in a while.
Hedagustin Surbit says welcome to chat. Pete hears your messages through text to speech when he triggers the chat lady. To get your message heard immediately, send a super chat on YT of $3 or more. On Twitch, send 200 bits or more.
What's up, Pete Gustin's
Jenny
robot?
says thank you.
Look at that. I got my own
Kimbo14
robot.
says, oh, the pink diamonds, those are awesome.
Those
At
are
Pete Gustin says or more.
Or more.
At Pete Gustin says welcome to chat. Pete hears your messages through text to speech when he triggers the chat lady. To get your message heard immediately, send a super chat on YT of $3 or more. On Twitch, send 200 bits.
Or more. Okay.
The blind
so
husband says visually impaired person. Is that right, Lola?
I'm gonna have to shorten those. It said or more in the second one, so apparently, so the Pete Gustin's robot and Pete Gustin are timed things that I like to give out some information to the people that are in the chat. Maybe don't know what's going on. They don't know how it works here, but apparently you can only use so many characters, or else it'll fire it off in a second one. So now I know. And now I've learned. You know, the other
Gamer
thing
Zero
I
says
love
screaming profanities
about,
on the zipper is Pete.
this, like doing this, and I've mentioned this before, like there's so few things that we do collectively anymore because everything is on demand and we do it like on our own schedule.
Says me visually impaired, no, just bodily impaired, lol.
We all got our own issues, but Lola can see. Lola can see just fine. You know, I feel like it's nice that you know, I mean, obviously it's great if I drop a short and 1 million people watch it, but they all watch it like separately. But like experiencing this at the same time, I feel like is kind of cool. And it's also like, give all you out there like watching right now, however many there are. I don't know if there's 4 or 40, I have no idea. But like, give yourselves a pat on the back for your good old sense of or your good old ability to have some retention time. Some you don't have the short attention span. Like I was thinking about this the other day, like TV shows used to have intros and now they do, that they're still in, but every show, like I control the remote control because Banana wants me to ride the remote control for volume on TV these days. But like every time the intro to a show comes up, she's like, skip intro, skip intro, skip intro. I'm like, I know. And I gotta find the OK button and skip the intro because nobody has patience anymore. Nobody has no patience for anything. I mean, I remember when I was a kid and I used to watch like Cheers, where everybody knows your name. Like the intro like kind of got you into the show and like it was part of the experience. And everybody would sit down on Thursday night at 7:30 and we'd all watch Cheers and you'd watch the intro together. And The Simpsons has a pretty long intro. I haven't seen The Simpsons or heard it or anything. I haven't partaken in The Simpsons in like 20 years. So I don't know, but do they still have their intro? And their intro is like super long.
Lola Tupors just cheered 200 bits. Jenny is throwing pennies at you. Blind husband says VIP stands for visually impaired person in your chat.
Nice.
LOL.
That's pretty good. Thank you for all the pennies. Banana will be like, how'd you do tonight? And I'll be like, I made $73.11. The last part thanks to ABC Jenny. Thank you. Twitch does allow me to do text to speech for basically anything that's happening on the channel at any time, but I had to draw the line. I couldn't, you know, if someone was throwing like 1 bit at me or 2 bits at me, I couldn't have the robot being like, this is 2 bits, because then I feel like the channel could get hijacked pretty easily. But yeah, like not lucky he's a family guy. Like the intros to shows, it just kind of it would signify like the show's on, like here it comes, get in the mood. And yeah, these days everybody's like skip, next, and then you know it is funny. Like when I look at the stats on this show afterwards, like I look at the YouTube Shorts feed and it's like people watch for an average of 42 seconds. I'm like, okay, that's the YouTube Shorts feed. Everybody's expecting some short. And then I look at the stats on Twitch. It's like you were on for 1 hour and 55 minutes, and the average watch time was 1 hour and 35 minutes. We need one more person to subscribe to trigger a hype train. Those people commit.
Lolatwicos says or gifted sub.
Or gifted sub. Lola gifts a lot of subs. I feel like she's like up to 700 or 600 or 700 at this point, but yeah, she's the
Tiny Gamer Zero says in school, did you have beef with those eye charts with increasingly smaller text? Please let me know if that's too sensitive of a question.
Did I have beef with them?
Lenovo Fan 2003 says, how long do you stream?
I'm like, you stupid eye chart, how dare you make fun of me? No, I can't remember a day. I feel like maybe when I was 8 years old, I used to be able to see the E. It was the same eye chart. Like everybody had the same eye chart. So I don't even, maybe until like the time I was 11 or 12, I'd just walk in and be like, the E, I see the E. But I think that was a lie. I don't even know if I could see it at that point because I lost. I feel like I was never really, I don't know. Even when I was 8, 9, 10 years old, I couldn't see anything more than like 12 to 15 feet away from me. So, I mean, I didn't have beef with the eye chart. It's not like me and the eye chart were enemies. We weren't going to like fight about it or anything, but I certainly couldn't see the thing. I remember, I did a whole video about the fights that I used to get into. One fight I lost so bad. I'll tell you in a sec.
Lolatopause just cheered 200 bits. Everyone thinks people with glasses are the smart nerdy kids. Nobody realizes they failed a test with the answers literally right in front of them.
Exactly. It's right there. Just read it. So K through 6, kindergarten through 6th grade, I was with the same group. It was a tiny class. I think there was like 18 of us, 18, 19. And they were all like watching me, lose my eyesight as a little kid, just getting worse and worse. And they were used to it. But then I got to 7th grade, and there were all these, new kids from different elementary schools. We all came together. That was junior high school. And naturally, because kids are a-holes, a bunch of them started making fun of me. I've told this before, but I'll jump to the part where I lost a fight badly. My cousin Mike, who's been featured in a couple of shorts lately, a lot of you might have heard of Mike. He told me, he's like, people are going to keep making fun of you if you, fight them. He's like, it's not so fun to just throw a joke if you have someone like come launching at you. So I decided that's how I was, and again, I disclaimer this all the time. Don't do what I did. It was a different time, different world. It was the 80s, it was like 88, 89, whatever. But I decided I was going to fight for myself. I wasn't going to be bullied. And there was this one kid one time in 7th grade, and he was making fun of my eyesight, and the class hadn't started yet. We were in there, and they're like, it was like 5 minutes before the teacher showed up. I remember it was Mr. McGrath's English class, and this kid, Jeff, who was little, like I wasn't big in 7th grade, but this kid was little, like he started making fun of me. I started making fun of him, and he kind of grabbed me, kind of like in a light version of an arm bar. And he's like, I'll take you out. He's like, I will, you lose this fight. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to lose. You made fun of me. He's like, I'll take you out. I'm like, whatever. And I 100% did not take him seriously because he was a little kid. And what? How'd that happen?
Hype train started.
Okay. There's a hype train started. Well, now I feel like I have to, hold on. I'll at least I'll put some music on. And I don't know how we started a hype train. What do we do? What did we do that was so exciting? You guys just being awesome over there while I'm talking? All right, so hype train style. I'll give you some more hype energy to this story. So, what happened was, this kid had apparently been studying martial arts ever since he was in like 2nd or 3rd grade, and he knew a little something about fighting, and I knew jack-off squat about fighting. So he threatened me like 4 times. He's like, just shut up, or I'm gonna hurt you. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I don't believe you. And so he did this move. It was kind of like a trip, but it was more than a trip. Like, when you're like a kid, like 10, 11 years old, you just stick your leg out and you like, trip somebody. Like he had me in an arm bar, and then he locked my knee and threw me down, and I landed right on, like I tucked my head in at the last second. Like I could have landed on my nose, but I landed on my forehead. Like all of my energy, like boom, right down on my forehead. And I actually think the kid might have held me up a little bit on the way down. Because otherwise, I don't know how to crack my entire head open. Hold on, there. Just because it's a hype train, get some music going, and he's like, it knocked me out, knocked me silly, and then he like helps me up and puts me in my chair, and he's like, "Told you." And he did. He warned me. He told me it was the one fight I straight up lost, and then the teacher walks in, Mr. McGrath walks in, I'm sitting there like 1st or 2nd row, and I'm trying to hold back my tears. I'm trying not to cry, but I'm like streaming tears. And he walks in, he's like, I don't know what just happened, but you got an egg on your forehead and you cannot stop crying. I was like, this is true. Both of the things you said are true. And we ended up getting sent to the principal's office. And the kid, it was like my, I don't know, 10th or 15 year high school reunion. So many years later, like 20 years later, he's like, that time we got in a fight, I was dealing with some anger issues at the time, so I'm sorry that happened. I was like, yeah, me too. Me and my forehead are sorry. All my other fights, I at least stood a chance. I felt like I was relatively valiant. At least I was scrappy. But that fight, boy, did I lose that one fast. I learned, that was before I started. I didn't study any martial arts until after high school, until I was in college. But like, you never want to get into a fight with someone that's
Devlin Fisherman 27 says, I'm in 8th grade now, but I remember when I was in 5th or 6th, some kid named Charlie.
Yeah, what about Charlie? Charlie bit me. Did you get bit by a kid named Charlie? That'd be kind of ironic.
Glonsfo1 says, we'll totally start spamming with you at the end of August.
I don't want you to spam with me at the end of August.
Bedlin Fisherman 27 says called me blind as a bat and then I ended up knocking his front teeth out.
Ooh, I mean, knocking someone's teeth out is kind of extreme. I mean, that can get expensive. But I bet you never called you blind as a bat again. But yeah, you never want to get into a fight that anybody that studied any sort of martial arts, and you never want to get into a fight with a wrestler. Whoa. I got into a play fight with a wrestler, just kind of like goofing around. It was like, again, it was like high school. Or just in someone's front yard, and this kid on the wrestling team.
The Great One says spam with bits.
I was on, spam with bits, you can do that. I was on the swim team, and he was on the wrestling team, and just, we weren't mad at each other, we were just goofing around. And like, arm bar, leg bar, like, had me like face down, eating dirt. I'm like, oh, hell, like people that know how to fight. I mean, that's a different thing. Like, if you've never been in a fight before, and then you fight someone that has. I remember how long it took me when I started fighting in Kung Fu. So yeah, in college and after college, I was studying Kung Fu. Nanchuan Kung Fu was my art form, and or my martial art form. I remember the first time I got hit in the head, and I was wearing like headgear, and it was like a point contact thing. Like they weren't trying to knock your block off; they were just trying to like make contact. But like the first time you get hit in the head, you're like, whoa, like that is disorienting. I remember being like, I don't like that. I didn't like that at all. Like it was such a bizarre, unsettling, discombobulating feeling. And then, after a while, after months of it, like I don't know if this is good, to say that your brain gets used to it, but like you get used to the sensation of being hit, and it starts to get a little more natural. But if you ever get into a fight with someone that's like actually a fighter, like most people have no idea how to handle themselves.
Lalatwapa says if anyone ever wanted to fight me, my brothers would beat them up before they could even touch me.
Bar in Boston. See a lot of bad fighting going on in the evenings. Those are some of the things I remember having some eyesight and being
Tiny
out in
Gamer
Boston.
Zero says adopt the grip and twist technique.
Grip and twist technique. What are we
Lenovo
doing?
Fan 2003 says I hear the alarm of my sister.
Yeah. Hold on. Stupid microphone. I keep hitting it. Not a stupid microphone. Stupid. It doesn't move. I keep hitting it. I feel like I need to grab one more of those little strawberry. Oh, where are they? I knew where they were. There's like those little strawberry vanilla treats at the bottom, and they like.
Kimbo
feel good on my
14
throat.
says that is very true. Blind husband. Join it blind says so. You still go shooting?
What is this? I haven't been.
Jenny says throat punch.
I haven't been. Throat punch is the worst. Whoa. Getting caught in the throat, like that's no fun. Oh, here we go. This is what I was looking for.
The blind husband says little snack doodles time.
I just need a little something. My throat's getting a little tired. I did more voiceover yesterday and today. Holy cow. I do a lot of work for football. And
Devlin
not just...
Fisherman 27 says what caliber do you shoot?
Well, I used to have a...
Lenovo Fan 2003 says 4:41 a.m. for me.
I used to have a 22 because it was cheap. You could bring a ton of it. I mean, not a lot of fun to shoot in a 22. It's kind of like pew, pew, pew. There's no kickback. It's not that exciting. But if you just want to go and practice your shot for a while, it's kind of fun to go there and only spend a couple bucks. But I think the one that I got a few. Like, it's super fun to shoot the 357. Like, that thing's a blast, literally and figuratively. There's like a lot of power to that thing. I have a VP40 from H&K, Heckler & Koch, and that thing is, it's like a Cadillac gun. Like, that thing is fantastic. Oh, crap, I just said GUN. TikTok just kicked me off, I'm sure. But I like that one. It's kind of, I got a snub nose 38. Like, that one's a lot of fun. I have a snubby, the heck is it called? Lou Horton 45, 1911. And it's something that the Hells Angels apparently like to ride with because it's a 45, so it's all crazy powerful, but it's really short, so it works when you're like on a motorcycle. Mine is it was a custom Lou Horton one. It's like blue steel and black, if I remember. It's like this cool looking thing, which at the time I had a mild amount of vision. I was like, this thing looks cool. Now I can't see anymore, but I still have it. So I think I like the VP40 just in terms of like the cleanness of the shot. But if I'm looking to just like, blow off some steam and be like, blow, 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 that would be the
67 says, what's your favorite
but
smell?
Generally, if I have some free time.
Tiny Gamer Zero says, never mind, my screen just turned blue.
Why'd your screen turn blue?
Lalatwapa says it's on your end. He is still talking.
Yeah, I'm still talking. I'm here. Your end. You fix your computer. My stuff's actually working for a change. When my stuff works. Wait, what is this? Oh, it's the top to the, what'd I do to my phone? I lost my phone. Oh, no, I'm just sitting on it. That's all. 7:43. I am going to want to get some dinner at some point. So I might get out of here shortly, unless you all did everything just die. Like I hope so. I hope no. So I hope not. I hope everything.
Fedlin Fisherman 27 says good night, y'all. I think I'm gonna hit the hay. God bless.
right.
Hope
Well,
everybody sleeps well.
If you're hitting the hay.
Tiny Gamer 0 says I fixed it.
All right, good job.
Fedlin
Glad to
Husband
know.
says Lola, you are the best.
Lola.
Lalatwapa says good night, have a good rest.
Yeah, have a good rest.
At I've
Hope
not
you get
friend
some
with
good
Green
sleep.
Shade says hi Pete.
Hi, what's going on? I have not heard your username tonight. I think you might be new
Lalatwapa
here.
says Ahaha, no you are.
No, you
Lenovo
are.
Fan 2003 says best problem is a battery problem.
Well,
Kimbo 14 says good night Blind Fisherman.
good night, Blind
The
Fisherman.
Blind Husband says bye Fisherman.
Good night, Moon.
At Jenny says good night Pete, good night Lola, good night Kim.
You going to bed too, ABC Jenny? We'll be back tomorrow. There was one more story I was going to tell you, but I do feel like now that I've got it in my head that I'm hungry. Now I'm hungry. Oh, real quick.
Fedlin Fisherman 27 says I love this chat. They are so respectful.
Generally, yes. I feel like everybody's very nice. So here, I'll do this. 5-minute story if you guys want to hear me prattle on for another minute. Today,
Jenny says no.
I didn't
Gamer Zeros.
handle my obligations. I usually work within 15-minute windows. I'm booked in 15-minute windows throughout the day. And if I get something done in 5 or 10 minutes, that means I have 5 or 10 minutes to myself, but it's 15 minutes and then another one and another one and another one. And then I also have rolling obligations that'll come in on top of those. So it's very, very, very difficult for me to stay on top of my obligations, read everything that I'm supposed to do everything I'm supposed to do. And I do it every day. It's just it's my schedule. It's just the way it is. Banana says it stresses her out. She's like, it's really hard to watch you because I can't ever get through a meal. I can't ever get through, like, even if I have to go to the bathroom, like running out of the bathroom with toilet paper hanging off my butt. Something like, oh, I got to get to the microphone. That's an exaggeration. I don't actually have TP on my butt. But the schedule is very difficult and very demanding. And today, I tried to change things up in the middle of the day, and it screwed me up pretty hard for the rest of the day. I couldn't catch up and had to miss some things, which I never do. But it made me think about a job that I used to have when I was very first getting into the business, just trying to do something on air. And I've told you about this job before. I used to be a traffic reporter. And have you ever had a job where the time just drags? Like I remember when I did maintenance for a boat club, like that time would fly. Like I'd go over to the property that I was supposed to maintain. I go over there with like a weed whacker or a scythe or even the riding lawnmower or something. And then I, look down at my watch, and I look down at my watch again. I'm like, oh my God, it's been 2 hours, like a quarter of my workday. I've just been sitting here with this weed whacker. Time flies. That's kind of nice. And I remember even some days in the summer when I was like a short order chef when I was 16 years old, just kind of be sitting there working on that grill, and all of a sudden I'd be like, oh my God, a couple hours have passed. That's amazing. I had this job as a traffic reporter, and I don't know if you ever listened to the news talk radio station in the town that you live in, wherever you are out there in the United States or in the world, but they do a lot of news talk stations. They do traffic on they'll say 3s or 4s or 5. Welcome to traffic on the 3s. It means that they'll do it at 3 past the hour, 3:13, 3:23, 3:30. So every 10 minutes they do a traffic report. And that's what it was for the radio station that I used to work for, WBZ in Boston. And I would do a 6-hour shift. I'd get there at 5 in the morning, and I'd work till 11. So at 5:03, I did my first traffic report. And you do your report, and then you do your sponsor, and then you get out. So now it's 5:04. It's about a minute-long report, right? Now you're at 5:04. And then from 5:04 to 5:05, you kind of take a breather, okay? You did your report. And then you start walking around, and this is when I had some eyesight, so you'd look at the traffic cameras. And there were different cameras in different places in the traffic reporting bay. And you look at the camera for the highways in the city and around the city. And then you'd sometimes pick up if you saw something, you'd call the police barracks. You say, hey, what's happening on the pike? And they'd give you the information so that you can relay it to the people. So, 5:06, 7, 8 has passed. And now you got to sit down and you start writing your report. What's happening on 93? What's with the delay getting into the city? And you start making your notes and you're getting ready to do your report. And now it's, 5:10, maybe 5:11. And so you sit down and you take a little sip of water. And now you've been doing stuff nonstop. For 9 minutes, you've been doing stuff. You got your report all ready to go. And then it's 5:13. And they say, now we're going to go to the weather center. Here's Pete Guston. And then you give your report. And then you start all over again. So you never, and you're constantly, I remember they had big clocks in everybody's bay where we're doing the traffic, and you're constantly watching every second tick by. You know, I've got 2 minutes to go check the traffic on 93. I've got 1 minute to go look at the Pike. Now I got a minute and a half to write this thing, and now I got to go find my sponsor, and then I got to get the sponsor in the right place. Or in my case, I had to memorize the sponsor. So for the length of the shift, 5 hours or 6 hours, however long it was, sometimes varied, you watched every second of that work shift tick by, and it would go so slow. Like you're 3 hours in and you've literally been watching the clock for every second of those 3 hours. And I remember I would walk out of those sessions at the end of the day being like, oh my God, like it was brutal. It was just like nonstop, you know, not like brutal work. Like I was out there, you know, digging coal or diamonds out of a mine or something, but you want time to go slow. You want something to take a really long time. Do a job like that where you got to just watch a clock nonstop. That was my first job. I made $9 an hour to do traffic and traffic reporting in Boston on WBZ and a handful of other stations.
Thedlin Fisherman 27 says, well, I was gonna listen to the St. Louis Cardinals play the Phillies while I go to bed, but I guess they finished the game, so I guess I'm gonna listen to you.
Those? I don't think I do. I work for the Eagles, getting ready for football season. You'll hear me. If you're listening to the radio in Philadelphia and you listen to the Eagles broadcasts, you will hear me a lot. I do a lot of stuff for the Eagles, but you can catch the post-game show if you want. It's 7:50 p.m. And I'm kind of curious to see if Banana actually made that bar. She was constructing a bar, like a woodworked bar that she was making downstairs for a party that we've got coming up in a little while. So I think I'm going to go check on her progress. I'll be back tomorrow. It'll be just me. Well, me and Petey the Penguin and Sam the Chicken. So the three of us will be here, but, you know, two of us aren't exactly real. Me and Petey, obviously. But thanks to everybody who stuck around. Thank you for hanging with me tonight.
Lynn Husband says, have a great day. Thank you for streaming by everybody. Have a great night.
And don't forget to wish Bloxy good luck in his test tomorrow.
At Jenny says, have a good night.
Have a good night, Kimbo. Thanks, everybody. Ooh.
Kimbo14 says, have a good night, everyone. Thanks for the stream.
It's not that confusing.
At Crispy111 says,
Thanks,
I'm back
everybody.
to you too. Twitch is confusing.
Yo. Surf's
Jenny
up.
says, have a good night, everyone.
Watch my recent surf videos to see more surfing.
Surf's
All right, I'm out of here. Bye.
Doinit Blind says you're great. At I've not friend with Shade says have a great evening P. Fidlin Husband says amazing surf video.